Travel forecast: San Francisco, Denver, Las Vegas, Seattle. All of you could potentially see some travel trouble.
Fox meteorologist Janice, about 17 flights canceled, more than 200 delayed. America's listening to Fox News.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
The Morning Extra, only on Extra 106.3.
Good morning, y'all. The Morning Extra with Tug, Rhino, and Los. I, of course, am Scott Rhino. Tug and Los both out for the holiday weekend, as I'm sure many of you are getting ready to prepare for. It's going to be a very expensive Thanksgiving still. Donald Trump's not quite in office yet. Prices are not going to be coming down anytime soon. As much as I would love to think that this is an overnight thing, it's not going to be. So I know a lot of you are getting ready to spend some money this holiday weekend. So I hope you are enjoying your time off, if you are off. And if you're getting ready to go like I am, getting ready after the show today, we're going to head up to North Carolina. Unfortunately, my best friend in the world, someone I grew up with since 7th grade when I moved to Long Island, his father and mother were like my second parents, and his father passed away. So we're going to stop in Charlotte on the way up there to be with them for his funeral later this afternoon. And then on our way out to Edenton, North Carolina, where we'll be having our Thanksgiving weekend. So I'm looking forward to having some time off. Unfortunately, things happen, and here we are today. And, you got to do some of these things. And it's sad because you start to realize that when you get to a certain age and your friends and family start getting sick and they're getting older, it just kind of reminds you that you are replaceable. So hopefully I guess you're never really replaceable though, are you? I mean, everybody's always going to remember you. So not to start off on a sad note in any way whatsoever. We got a lot of fun and a lot of things to talk about today. We are going to be talking a lot about the tariffs today. We're going to talk about some of the other picks that Donald Trump, Dr. Jay Bhattacharya, is one of those picks. I actually like it as the nominee for the NIH director, taking over for where we know needs to be fixed right away. No more gain of function, no more ridiculous things that are made to hurt Americans. So we'll talk a little bit about him as well today. I think it's a good pick. This is a guy who I actually listened to a lot during the pandemic because he was one of the critics of the federal government's response to the COVID-19. In fact, in October of 2020, during Trump's first term, he called for the government to roll back any of those shutdowns because they were silly. He was one of the ones that I actually got banned from YouTube for because I played a cut of him talking about why cloth masks are ridiculous, they don't work, and why masks in general probably won't work. So I'm kind of happy about having somebody in there who has an open mind into doing more research before this kind of overreach that we went through during that pandemic. So we'll talk about that as well. And then a TikToker. He stunned me last night. And I kept thinking about it last night. Like, am I going to, I got to try this. So I am going to try this little thing that a TikToker told me about. And I didn't watch TikTok. I just kind of saw it come through. Maybe Bella, someone sent it to me. I don't even know how I got to it. But I was like, you know what? We're going to try this today, so I'm going to make Joe do this with me as well. So I'm kind of excited about that. I want you to hear from, because you may see it if you're up early this morning. You may have already seen it. But Kamala Harris made a statement yesterday. In fact, she talked to everybody that was working on her campaign, and she wanted to deliver a message. And I am going to play the message because I want you to hear part of it. I mean, it was a 9-minute long call of her talking to her staff. She looked horrible, but listen to her here.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you. Back at you, brother. You are such an extraordinary leader, and we have become lifelong friends. I just, in front of everyone, I want to thank you, Tim. I'm thankful for the faith that you put in me and Governor Walz and our team. And I am thankful because I know your character is such that you're not going to get knocked down. And you're in this fight. And the outcome of this election, obviously, is not what we wanted. It is not what we worked so hard for. You called friends. You called in favors. You said, hey, I showed up at your softball game. Now I need you to show up at the campaign office. Again, I'll say, the election didn't turn out like we wanted it to. Certainly not as we planned for it to. But understand that the work we put into it was about empowering people. That's the spirit with the work we did. Our spirit and our work was about saying that it is a strength that we each have to lift people up. And I know that about you. It's why you're part of this call right now and all the work that you did over those 107 days and even before. That's your nature. It's leaders that we are dedicated to the coalition, that the strength of our country will be a function of our willingness to put in the work, and that we will do that work with a sense of joy, yes, with a sense of work ethic and understanding it's going to be hard, but it's good work. It's good work.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know if any of you were listening to that and thinking, man, I'll have what she's having. I want some of that alcohol. It's been 3 weeks since she got her butt kicked in this election. 3 weeks, embarrassed on a national stage. And here she comes with her little message once again with zero content in it. Zero content. And I don't necessarily think it needed to have content in it, but it was the same canned thing. Strength through joy. I know it's a Nazi propaganda call, strength through joy, socialist ideas. And I gotta work with joy. She looked absolutely worn out. She's either been on a complete bender for 3 weeks since getting embarrassed. That had to be the most embarrassing loss, maybe in political history. Just going back yesterday, because I saw some of this yesterday afternoon and late last night, and I kept thinking, Donald Trump won, not only because he came and talked about issues, and he talked about the issues that mattered, the economy, the border, how it was affecting us, how we can rebuild energy, how to make America first and keep Americans safe. That was a message on issues. You just heard her message over and over again. Here's Tim Walz with his little jazz hands, running around, lifelong friends. Yep. They're not friends. They were put into a position and they were installed as candidates. Now, you could say Tim Walz wasn't because he was picked by Kamala Harris. What a horrible pick. That's going to go down in history as one of the worst picks ever for a VP candidate. She was the worst installed candidate. Remember, this will go down in history as she never got a primary vote. Not one. And then the only reason she was actually in this was because the person that did get over 14 million primary votes was being hidden for years by that same woman and the entire White House staff because cognitively, that man has declined to a point where it's dangerous. He's still our president. up until January 20th. And we've got wars going on, and it is a bad, bad situation. And I think the important part is that's the first time we've heard from the vice president in 3 weeks. That's a huge problem. Who's running this country? Right now, Donald Trump and Elon Musk and all of his picks? Tom Homan down at the border with Greg Abbott? Thank God we have strong leaders on our side. Because without people like Donald Trump, this country would be in complete chaos right now because of the failed leadership of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Joe, do you have that Karine Jean-Pierre cut? I wasn't planning on playing this, but I want to now that we heard from Kamala Harris because the press wants to know who's running this country. Where is the vice president? Now that she lost, is this it? She's supposed to be working, and they asked Karine Jean-Pierre, here's her spin.
To Hawaii while DNC staffers are just wondering what they're going to do for work?
The vice president has taken time off to go spend time with her family. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think she deserves some time to be with her family and to have some downtime. She has worked very hard over the last 4 years, and her taking a couple of days to be with her family, good for her. Good for her.
A couple of days? It's been 3 weeks. No, she doesn't deserve time off. She wanted to be the vice president. He wanted to be the president. We're a rudderless ship. And again, thank God for Donald Trump, because he's the reason that Netanyahu made a deal. Not Joe Biden. That had nothing to do with them. They all know that strength is back. There's already been phone calls. Donald Trump is taking care of things, and he's not even in office yet, and thank God for him. He might not be the greatest man or husband or boyfriend. I think he's a pretty good father, but he's a great leader, a strong leader. Unlike that wimp we heard from, cackling her way through a ridiculous, again, you know, these are all her staffers that she was talking to on this phone call. So she wasn't going to face any adversity. She can't face adversity. You saw what happened when she did. They've been an embarrassment for 4 years. You don't deserve any time off. You haven't done anything but destroy this country. So as she gets ready to go spend time with her family, the rest of us are trying to figure out how to make ends meet so that we can afford food for our Thanksgiving table, for our family gatherings. She doesn't care about you. She doesn't care about her so-called, quote, fight, her ridiculous made-up fight. If she did, she'd be fighting hard. Everything about them is a complete fraud. Donald Trump knows how to fix this country. He's not even president, and he's already making things change. The stock market has full confidence. The consumer price index is up. The confidence in it, not the actual, the consumer price index is up because of the Biden-Harris administration. But the confidence is up from the American people. The confidence is up that the economy is going to get better. And part of that reason is because of things he's saying, not things he's doing yet, that he will. The tariffs yesterday, that was a big one. Now the left is going to lose their mind. Oh, prices are going to be so much higher now, blah, 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 blah. They have no idea. You're going to pay $5 for an avocado that comes from Mexico. What about strawberries and others? Like 46% of those come from Mexico. Well, how about this? Mexico can get around that, number one, because what they can do is just make sure that no one, especially with criminal records, is coming to the border to try to sneak through. They have to secure their own border. Is that a big deal? No. Number two, I don't care about Mexican farmers. I care about American farmers. If the Mexican people want to worry about farming, then they'll do things the right way. It's that easy. But you know where they grow great avocados, better avocados than Mexico, and I trust them more? California. So you think I care if we put a 25% tariff on avocados from Mexico? Nope. I care about saying, hey, let's create more jobs here. Let's take care of our American and Californian farmers and make sure we're buying their strawberries, their avocados. It's that easy. Don't let the left try to pull you into this whole pricing. He's going to price you out of everything. Then you get, because of Trump and his leadership, unlike the vice president, you get a reaction right away. One of the first reactions came from Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum. Now, her government, she stood up there and wanted to make sure everybody knew that if Donald Trump moves forward with his threat to impose a 25% tariff on this country, then I will have severe economic consequences for companies that are operating in this country. Oh. You know what those companies are? General Motors, American. Stellantis, American. Ford Motor Company, American. She said, I'm going to make sure that we put tariffs on sending your cars back to your country. Think about that. I talked about it yesterday with Neil Bortz. I bought my Ford hybrid car here in the country, in the United States. They told me a lot of the car and a lot of the parts are made in Michigan, but a majority of the car, including the body, are being built in Mexico. And I said, really? Yeah, one of our plants down there. That's why it's going to take you at least 2 months before you can get your truck. Maybe more. Maybe 2 years. Some of them have been waiting 2 years. And I said, well, why? It's just cheaper for us to build things down there. Okay. Understood. Well, what if they were cheaper to build in the United States of America? What if we had somebody unlike Harris who said we need to get that corporate rate to 28%? We had someone who said, no. Why don't we drop the corporate rate and make it fair to them so that we can build factories and get Americans jobs? So that Ford moves back from Mexico, builds a plant here, gives American workers the opportunity to build these cars, and then we're more successful. It lowers the price, and everybody's happy. Don't threaten us with our own companies. You're going to lose that battle, lady. I can tell you that right now. The Talkmaster knows all about these tariffs, and we talked about it. You're going to hear from him next on The Morning Extra.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's the camera. How's it going? Here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Interesting week, don't you think? A lot of celebrating, a lot of whining, a lot of blame placing. One real high point is now I think we can all be assured the hyena's day as a political player in America is severely limited.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Hey, Georgia neighbors, it's time to expect more from your Medicare Advantage. Discover Sonder Health's custom plans tailored just for Georgians. Saunders offers unique benefits, including special plans for those living with chronic conditions. Some plans even come with grocery or gas benefits to support your overall well-being. Sonder Health makes it easy to get the coverage you need. See for yourself what today's Medicare Advantage can do for you. Visit SonderHealthPlans.com, a healthier state of life. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO and PPO with Medicare contracts. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
I know it doesn't feel like it right now, but the cold air is coming fast. That means a couple different things to me and you. Energy bills will be rising and company coming over for the holidays. Dan Watkins here with all Four Seasons garage, entry doors, and windows. It's time to get your house ready for the winter air and your holiday visitors. The good news is that we have you covered for every opening in your home. So call us today to set up a free estimate with one of our amazing sales consultants. They'll help you pick out the perfect garage door, front door, and windows for your home.
At the Piedmont Bank, we're proud to be one of Georgia's largest community banks, focusing on serving businesses and the communities they serve. With headquarters right here in Metro Atlanta, our tailored banking expertise and solutions help meet the diverse needs of our customers so they have what it takes to grow, expand, and thrive. It's what elevates us above the rest. Find a location near you at Piedmont.bank and experience elevated banking for you and your business. The Piedmont Bank. Banking elevated. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Tune into your new favorite show that's redefining the A to Z's of marketing, The Marketing Mad Men. We'll take you behind the scenes of successful campaigns and reveal the strategies that win. We're not just talking about marketing, we're making it happen. From viral content creation to leveraging AI for customer engagement, our experts bring you to the cutting edge of industry. This is your playbook for market dominance. Tune in and transform your approach with actionable tips that could skyrocket your ROI. The Marketing Mad Men every Saturday at 4 p.m. right here on Xtra 106.3.
Isometrics USA Inc. has openings for the position of Principal Software Architect located in Alpharetta, Georgia. Job duties for the position include collaborating with stakeholders and subject matter experts on environment, social, and governance, ESG, as well as environment, health, and safety, EHS, to determine businix goals and market placement. This is a full-time position. Multiple positions available. Apply with resume to recruitment-usa at isometrix.com and reference job code 7651929.
The end of the year is closing in, and with it, another tax year comes to an end. As you prepare to file your taxes, consider the efficiency of your tax strategy. Have you maximized your IRA and Roth contributions? Do you have an RMD strategy in place? Are you making moves now to maximize your future tax-free income? Not only is the year-end fast approaching, but the 2017 tax cuts sunset at the end of 2025, placing many Americans in a higher tax bracket. Don't just report your taxes, plan for them. Contact Master Plan Retirement Consultants now to create a retirement plan specifically designed for you. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation where we can illustrate your retirement outlook and create a plan together for your future. Master Plan Retirement Consultants. Plan well and prosper.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines. Presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your top stories in the state of Georgia for today, Wednesday, November 27th. 167 days, more than 170 witnesses, and after a full calendar year, jurors finally sat for deliberation in the YSL gang and racketeering trial. The jury deliberated for nearly 3 hours yesterday, trying to decide the fate of the last two defendants, Shannon Stillwell and DeMonte Kendrick. 4 other defendants have already taken plea deals after pleading guilty to some charges for lesser sentences, including rapper Young Thug. The jury is set to continue deliberations this morning. If they do not return with a verdict, Judge Whitaker will dismiss them for the holiday with plans to reconvene on Monday. The body of a 31-year-old TikTok creator, Giari Schneider, was found inside a car he had borrowed from a friend. Schneider disappeared after a night out at a local club on November 15th and never returned. The wooded area where he was found was near a content house Schneider used to collaborate and create ideas for his social media platforms. His family fears that the 31-year-old could have been a victim of foul play. Clayton County police are continuing to investigate Schneider's death. And in sports, the Georgia Bulldogs have jumped back to number 7 in the nation in the college football playoff rankings. The Bulldogs need a convincing win against rival Georgia Tech this weekend to maintain the ranking. They must also win the SEC championship game on December 7th against the winner of the Texas and Texas A&M matchup. With your headlines, Scott Rhino, Xtra 106.3. Good morning, Neil.
Oh, you're full of it today. This is After 6 months, this is the first time I'm on with you from back home.
Yay! I was going to ask you. Yeah, because we were told that you should be back home. So when did you finally get back into your condo?
Last week.
Okay. Is it better than ever?
Oh, it's amazing. But now because of hurricanes and a dysfunctional Department of Permits down here in Collier County, there's still things that need to be done, and but they won't allow anybody to work during Thanksgiving week. So it's.
I never understood this, and I never understand, growing up in New York, you would have to get permission to do anything, and I owned a golf scoreboard company for a long time, and anytime I did an event, and I did a lot of, like IMIS, and Donald Trump did a lot of golf events, the New York Jets, the New York Giants, but when I'd go up there, my scoreboard I had wired up correctly so that I could literally just plug it into a wall, Neil. But because of all the unions, I was not even allowed to plug it into a wall at any of the golf country clubs. They would have to call an electrician to come plug it in.
Before you were born, there was a show called, oh gosh, I can't even think of the name of it anymore. Tonight, I think it was called Tonight, and it followed Johnny Carson. And I was in I even remember the year 76. That is before you were born, wasn't it?
No, I was 74.
Okay, you were 2 years old. So I flew out to Los Angeles. And we're recording that show at about 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and it'll run it after Johnny Carson's off the air at 1 o'clock in the morning. But lo and behold, it is taped on the Johnny Carson set.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I had a little camera with me, and I handed it to one of the other guests on that show, and I said, "Hey, get a picture of me sitting behind Johnny's desk." So I went and sat there, and the guy pulled out that little brownie, or with a flash cube or whatever, and all of a sudden, stop! Uh-oh. This guy comes prancing out of the shadows. "You can't take a picture in here. This is a union shop. I have to take the picture." And I'll take the picture for $300.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, it's literally a ransom to do little minuscule things all the time. And that's why part of the reason I left New York to come down here in 1992 and was, number one, the Clinton era. They said, hey, we don't want any more recruits in the Army. So they got rid of me there. But at the same time, I was like, hey, I can't live under this kind of oppressive regime here in New York.
No.
You can't do anything anymore. And the ideas that they put forward were so socialistic in the ways of, you can't have a 76-ounce soda. Well, if I want to be fat, let me be fat.
I know it. Listen, I forget which decade this was. I've been around for 2 centuries. But anyway, I was having a good time in Atlanta doing little bits in movies. I was a stunt double for John Huston one time.
Wow.
Had a speaking part in one of the worst movies ever produced called The Visitor. But anyway, I reached 3 movies. I got in 3 movies, and then you can't appear in any more movies. Why not? Because after 3 movies, you have to join the Screen Actors Guild. And I said, I will not join a union. Period.
Yeah.
So that was it. I was 3 and out. And I never would join AFTRA, American Federation of Radio and Television A-holes.
Yeah.
I never would join AFTRA. I am definitely anti-union. And that's why I can't imagine why Trump is going to appoint a labor secretary that is definitely pro-union.
Yeah, I don't understand that idea. Why would you go that route? And, that was one of the things, too. When I moved here, when I was up in New York, I started working for Home Depot. It was a great company, and I moved here, and I was like, I can't wait to get to Home Depot. Well, one of my responsibilities was opening stores. Now, one of the differences in New York, it took forever to open a store. It could take a year because the unions, they had all their rules. When I moved down here, there was no rule. Bernie was so smart, so was Arthur, and hey, we'll bonus you if you finish this job earlier. We're going to give you an incentive to work harder, and we would get those stores up in 3-4 months and be ready to go.
I know. Bernie was sort of a friend, acquaintance, halfway between acquaintance and friend. What a great guy. He's going to be missed.
Yeah.
And the billions of dollars he's given away. And one of my regrets, and there are so many, was that Bernie asked me to write a book about he and what's his face, the Falcons owner,
Arthur Blank,
and who is a diehard Democrat, but it wanted me to write a book about the formation of Home Depot. I wish I had done that.
Yeah,
I am so lazy. By the way, speaking of Orange Man, I love this idea of unions to beat Mexico over the head and stuff. Do you know how quickly they're going to shut down that border as soon as Trump says tariffs?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a smart, there are two ways you can handle this. I mean, obviously, tariffs without any kind of idea behind them would be bad. It would, increase certain costs. But of course, if we had a fair tax, we'd never have to worry about any of that. But at the same time, it is a good way to rein people in. He did it really well with France in his first term. He did it really well with Putin and Iran. This would work to help really make sure that they stand their ground and take care of the border and make sure people don't come across. I mean, what a great way to offer them that incentive.
Well, look, Mexico is costing us billions of dollars by not doing what they should be doing to keep these invaders from coming into the country. Well, okay, if they're going to cost us billions of dollars, let's cost them billions of dollars, and then maybe this nonsense will stop. And then this idea of tariffs, it's just kind of like tariffs in reverse. Mm-hmm. Tom Homan, is that how you pronounce his name?
Yes. Yep.
Homan. Borders are. I love the idea of him, and this is going to go through the courts. This is going to cause all sorts of gnashing of teeth. Mm-hmm. But okay, New York, you're not going to cooperate with immigration and naturalization. You're going to be a sanctuary city. You're going to protect these illegals. So we're going to, any federal funding we're sending to you to help law enforcement, we're going to cut it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not doing the job we need done with federal taxpayer funds, so you're not going to get the funds. Watch them come around. The mayor of Denver, which is a far left city, thanks to California, actually wanted to use policemen to man the borders of Colorado to keep federal people from coming in there and arresting criminal aliens.
Yeah. How ridiculous was that he didn't think that through at all? And, just not a brilliant person when you say, so you are going to cause a civil war? You're going to go against the United States of America as a state? What are you thinking of turning people who are police force against National Guard or military?
I know it's amazing, but look, you cannot ever a pox upon you in your house if you ever get surprised by something the federal government does.
Yes.
You just you can't. By the way, I've seen some stories that celebrities are actually packing up and leaving the country.
Yeah.
They gave Ellen DeGeneres a lot of coverage on this, but she's owned that house in England for ages.
Yeah.
I don't think it counts unless you renounce your citizenship.
Yeah, I think they should have to say, I can never come back. I will not be a citizen. And, the only way you can come back is try to walk through the border. But hopefully that'll be closed by then. I agree, because this is just a bunch of rich people who are trying to make their way and trying to use their celebrity to influence other people. I don't care if you leave. Go. Like Stephen King. Keep talking about it and leave. Stop talking about it. Just go already. But yeah, renounce your citizenship. If you hate this country that much, then go ahead and say, I am no longer a citizen. I am going to be a citizen somewhere else.
Well, here's another question. This question needs to be asked every time one of these people actually leaves. And it's three words. Do we care?
Yeah, do we? No.
I mean, has my life changed in any way because Ellen G. DeGeneres has taken her girlfriend and moved to England, or her wife, or whatever she calls it?
No.
And if Whoopi Goldberg moved, would my life change?
No.
If Barbara Streisand moved, how would that affect my life? It wouldn't.
Yeah. What are you like? If I like Barbara Streisand, and Yentl is a great movie, and I appreciate being Jewish. That's all like my family ever listened to was Streisand. I always thought she was crazy, but the reality is, I could still listen to your music. It doesn't bother me. If I really liked you, I could still listen to your music. But, with Ellen DeGeneres, the funny part is she was so thrown out of Hollywood. The reactions to her being the meanest person to work for, I mean, she lost her career because of her attitude and being mean. And now she's playing a game like, well, I'm leaving because somebody else is mean. It's just such a weird virtue signal by the left.
Oh, yeah, and it really... by the way, what's your favorite Jewish record music album?
Oh, well, my favorite Jewish record. I don't know now. See, it depends on how you look at it. Like, I love the Beastie Boys because they're Jewish. Does that count?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're all Jewish. So I mean, I kind of like that. I don't know. I really like Streisand. I like the music. I love musicals sometimes.
No,
but I'm not sure.
No, My Son, the Folk Singer.
Oh, okay.
You've never heard of that, have you?
No.
Oh, you've got to download it from My Son, the Folk Singer, and it's got songs on it like "Hello, Mother." Hello, Father.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but there's some you haven't heard, like HOROWITC spells Horowitz.
I like that.
When you go to the delicatessen store, don't buy the liverwurst. I mean, there's some great songs on there that as a teenager, I used to listen to it. All you young whippersnappers. I think the guy's name was Alan Sherman.
Okay. Now, those were, did he do the Hello, that's the one from Camp Hio, whatever it was called.
Camp Granada.
Camp Granada, yeah. Those became camp songs. I went to a Jewish day, so it was the YHCA, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Whatever, YHMA, with the Young Hebrew Men's Association. And I went to an all-Jewish camp, and those were like the kind of songs that they had us singing in the camp, so that kind of makes sense now. I like Adam Sandler, though, like his Thanksgiving song.
I don't remember that one.
I'll eat turkey in a big brown shoe. Like, it's just a silly, ridiculous song. Very much like his Hanukkah song and stuff like that. I don't appreciate the Jewish religion as much as I used to, only because Jews became so liberal, and I just don't understand it at all. And when I hear the stories, because we have Holocaust survivors throughout our entire family, when I hear the stories from what they went through before they got into either Auschwitz or Buchenwald, one of those, I'm like, wait, that's exactly what Biden-Harris has been doing to us for the past 3.5 years. Or that's exactly what Barack Obama was pushing, the same kind of rhetoric. That's very dangerous. Why are you voting for these kind of people?
Don't understand it. I haven't understood this allegiance to the Democrat Party for so long. And by the way, I was reading this morning or at some time. I thought yesterday was Saturday, so I don't remember when I was reading this. But stupid quotes from celebrities, and Justin Bieber talking about Anne Frank. Did you ever hear about that one?
No.
Oh, he talked about Anne Frank and Amsterdam and all that kind of stuff. And, he actually said if she'd have lived, I hope she would have been a believer.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And then another dumb, stupid quote comes from, what's her name? AOC.
Yeah.
Okay. People don't have a right to own guns. If they did, it would be in the Constitution.
Oh, my God.
She actually said that.
These people are so sick that they actually don't recognize the Constitution at all or never read it. And I tell everybody, Hillsdale does a great job with the entire course on understanding the Constitution, but they have a companion book, which you should just buy in general because it's a great It tells you everything you need to know in kind of dumb terms for a lot of them. We should give that to every Democrat in your life should understand the Constitution, because they don't understand there's no right to have an abortion, no right to vote, no right. What they confuse for rights are so silly compared to what our Constitution is actually founded upon.
They convert wants into rights. Instantly. But I just lost a brilliant thought. Okay, whatever. Ever heard of Fat Mesia?
No.
Okay, that's coming up in the commentary, so listen.
I can't wait for that. I got to go back to something you said earlier. You were a stunt double? What kind of stunts did you do?
Well, John Huston, someday I'll send you a picture of me standing. You know who he was?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. He was in a movie that was being filmed in Atlanta, and for some reason known but to the drug-addled script writer for that movie, it called for John Huston to skate.
Oh.
At that ice skating rink in the middle of the Omni.
Yeah.
Well, he couldn't skate, but I could.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I skated in that movie in place of John. It was called The Visitor, and it's perfectly horrid.
Yeah.
And I skated in that movie and ended up being thrown into a flower cart. So,
very fun.
And then I got blown to smithereens in one of the Invasion USA movies.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What a career.
That was huge. I love that. That's awesome. Well, unfortunately, they were just, with the Screen Actors Guild and those kind of unions. It would have been a great career for you, though.
Oh, sure it would have. But you know what? Like so many people, if I had ever really done something in the movies, I would definitely want to be a bad guy.
Yes, me too.
Nobody wants to be the good guy. Everybody wants to be a bad guy in the movies.
Yeah, I always want to be the bad guy, or I never want to be the love interest in a rom-com. That would be the worst, being that guy who has to go through all the same thing in every movie.
Not unless Scarlett Johansson's on the other side of that.
Yeah, okay, if it's full nudity, I'm in.
That you could probably try to find a way to rephrase that.
Yeah. I'm going to try not to get in trouble. I leave that to you.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Neil. It's always a pleasure.
Y'all be good.
Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. You too, sir.
Thank you. You too. I'm going to Waffle House.
All right. The Neil Board Show. God, I love that man. He is one of my heroes, always has been one of my heroes. I can't help it. So when we get back, we're going to have a little bit of fun. This is a holiday treat. A TikToker has come up and stoked my interest with a food hack. And Joe and I are going to try it, let you know how it goes. That's coming up on the Morning Extra.
Road from now to Inauguration Day is bound to be littered with fake news and doomsday media, which is why Extra 106.3 is proud to continue as the conservative voice of Atlanta.
This was a movement like nobody's ever seen before.
The Morning Extra, The Kimmer Show, Neil Boritz, local and national decision makers are all coming to the table as we inch closer toward the new Trump administration. We're live every day on 106.3 FM, live video on YouTube, and streaming across Georgia on the Extra 106.3 app.
We're sharing more love than ever before during the 2024 Subaru Share the Love event. By the end of this year, Subaru and its retailers like Jennifer and the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett will have donated nearly $320 million to charities like the ASPCA, Make-A-Wish, Meals on Wheels America, and the National Park Foundation. It's the reason why we say Subaru of Gwinnett is more than a car dealer. We always go the extra mile for our community. And during the 2024 Subaru Share the Love event, you can drive away in the Subaru model you've had your eye on all year. But now through January 2nd is the only time you can get a new Subaru, and Subaru of Gwinnett will donate $250 to a charitable cause of your choosing. It's just one way that we share the love this holiday season. Visit SubaruofGwinnett.com for details and start shopping for the Subaru that your family will love for years to come. Then come by and see us for a test drive and meet our staff. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru. Subaru of Gwinnett, Satellite Boulevard in Duluth, and online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
November 29th is Blue Box Friday at D. Geller & Son Jewelers. Skip the mall lines, let them fight over the TVs while you save on Atlanta's best and brightest jewelry. It's our best sale of the year. We take some of our favorite fine jewelry pieces and place them ready to go in those signature D. Geller blue boxes all throughout our showrooms. Every beautiful piece of jewelry in a blue box is 20% off. Buy 2 pieces and get 40% off both. Buy 3 or more, get 60% off everything. There's no limits, so take care of all your stocking stuffers, all your under the tree showstoppers now, because you can get 60% off that whole Christmas jewelry list. You'll find everything from classic diamond hoops to unique gemstone necklaces to diamond wedding bands, all at the best deals of the year. D. Geller & Son has been Atlanta's holiday tradition since 1939. This Blue Box Friday, let us show you why with incredible jewelry at unbeatable prices. That's Blue Box Friday at D. Geller & Son Jewelers this Friday in Atlanta, Kennesaw, and Sandy Springs. Learn more at dgeller.com.
This giving holiday season, what better way to say thank you for your service than to help veterans and their families find success after military service through the Warrior Alliance? Your support helps to connect warriors to services in critical areas such as housing, benefits, legal services, health and wellness, employment, and much more. The Warrior Alliance is changing thousands of lives for the better. In fact, the Military Times has ranked the Warrior Alliance the #1 nonprofit in the nation in their 2024 Best for Vets survey. Donate today at thewarrioralliance.org/donate.
If anyone knows what to look for in a security system, it's the brave men and women who work in law enforcement. One veteran officer wrote to SimpliSafe just to thank them for the peace of mind he has every time he leaves his home, knowing that his wife and his valuables are safe. Just in time for the holidays, you can get 60% off a new SimpliSafe security system by visiting simplisafe.com/Beck. I have trusted SimpliSafe to secure my family's home and studio office here at Mercury for years. Old school alarm systems only kick in once somebody is already inside your house. With SimpliSafe, they stop the criminals from entering your home in the first place with the exclusive Active Guard outdoor protection. Live agents keep watch outside your property 24/7. Right now, SimpliSafe is offering you 60% off any new system with a select professional monitoring plan. This is their best offer of the year, so head to simplisafe.com/Beck. That's simplisafe.com/Beck. There is no safe like SimpliSafe.
Get connected to Extra 106.3 on all your favorite apps. Then download ours and stream the station across Georgia. We're live online at extra1063.com. Stream live video from the studios on YouTube. And of course, Kimmer, Bortz, and your favorite Extra shows in crystal clear digital on the Extra 106.3 app.
Good morning. It's the Morning Extra. Tug, Rhino, Los, Joe Virgin. Mixing the music today on the ones and twos.
Yeah, boy.
You see how I hit that post? It's dope. We're dope.
We are dope.
I've lost touch, though. I realize that. I thought I was cool, and then I have a 14-year-old who tells me I am no longer cool. Not cool at all. In fact, I'm just embarrassing as an old man. That's what I am. But I'm trying to get cool, Joe.
Let me help you.
You're going to help me, and I'm looking forward to that. This is the Morning Extra. Tug, Rhino, Los. No Tug, no Los. They're already out doing their thing, getting ready for a big holiday tomorrow. I hope most of you are, and I wish you a happy Thanksgiving if you're listening. I see some people out there on the YouTube channel. If you're not a member of the YouTube, well, then become one. Become a subscriber. I want to see that number move today if we can. I know it's the holiday, so nobody's out there. That's why I'm not getting any phone calls. None of you calling me saying hello, wishing me a happy Thanksgiving. Making me feel bad.
It's so upsetting.
404-741-1230. We got a lot going on today, but I fell into this, talking about being cool. And, I'm not on TikTok. I don't have an account because, again, it's a Chinese company I just don't trust yet. Now, if an American company buys it, it looks like it's a pretty fun place to be. And there's some things that happen, these trends. And I go and look at the trending. Wicked, the movie, that's a big one right now. Joe's going to see that tonight. Right?
I'm very excited.
Are you?
Yeah, they're not going to let me sing, though.
Yes. That's
People yell at me.
So this has been the big thing. People are singing while in the theater and other people trying to watch the movie. Because I'd be one of those people. I'd stand up and be like, y'all need to shut up. Shut up. Trying to watch this witch.
Then I just continue belting right in your face.
And you know the words. I wouldn't know one word to any of these songs.
I know all the words.
It's ridiculous. Thanksgiving is also the number one trend right there. And I found this one about a food that I love. The best food in the world, snack food-wise, popcorn. I love popcorn. I make it so many different ways. I love the way that, you know, you can use salt, you can use sugars, you can do everything. I was just asked, are we sure Goey is straight? Yeah. Straight-ish.
Straight-ish.
Like I'm Jew-ish.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, got it. The reality is that popcorn is probably the best treat. And then I see this video, and at first I'm a little skeptical. And I'm going to play the guy who created this because I don't know if he created it. He's not the creator. He heard about this. He is a content creator from Kentucky. His name is Dustin Hadley. He's at that 40-year guy. I guess he's 40 years old. And he started talking about popcorn, my favorite treat.
Telling me for 40 years I should have been putting it in the freezer first?
Apparently popcorn tastes better from the freezer.
I'll be honest with you, I have never in my life heard of anything like this before. Popping popcorn, freezing it, and then eating it. Apparently you're supposed to be able to taste the salt better, plus no kernels in your teeth. Got some popcorn, here we go. All right, it's done. Into the freezer. We'll be back in an hour or so to see if this is insane or very good. All right, here we go. Frozen popcorn. That is so good. It is. You can really taste the salt. I'm going to be honest with you. Y'all going to think I'm crazy. I like frozen popcorn better. You should definitely try it. Try it once. You won't be disappointed.
Okay, so I decided I have to try this with Joe. This is my favorite treat. I like when it's salty. I like putting pepper on it sometimes. If I really get into a sweet, I haven't done it in a while. I haven't done this with girlfriend Erin yet, but I like putting cinnamon and sugar on it sometimes when I need a sweet thing. But in reality, we're going to try the frozen popcorn. Maybe this is something you bring to your Thanksgiving dinner treats. Maybe you show other people this. I don't know. I'll let you know because I consider myself a popcorn connoisseur.
It's so intriguing to me.
It is.
Because it's like you put candy in the freezer, and it's better. Put like Skittles or
Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Thin Mints.
Yes.
Thin Mints in the freezer are the best.
Oh, they're so good.
And you do other stuff with popcorn, like you put chocolate and drizzle chocolate on it, and then you make like chocolate balls and put those in the freezer or in the fridge to cool them down.
Now you're just making me
like
really hungry.
Sweet treat.
You're making me
but just
really
normal
hungry.
Buttered salty popcorn.
This sounds fantastic, right? I'm excited. I
have no idea, and that's why I'm intrigued.
I got this Orville Redenbacher microwavable popcorn. So two things are going to happen. We're going to drive everybody in the office absolutely crazy. This is, by the way, no artificial. I mean, this is natural popcorn. This is healthy for us.
Oh.
I brought 2 bags. We'll put them both in there. We'll try them later on the show. And we'll let you know how you go. If anybody's ever tried this or knows why this happens, our listeners are smarter than everyone else. So someone might know, like, why popcorn would be better when it's frozen. So we will find that out.
The part that got me was no kernels.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Do the kernels soften in the freezer? That can't be it.
Yeah, maybe no shell. I don't know. I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
I don't know how that happens.
Maybe they just absorb
that.
into the... I don't know. I doubt it as well.
I can't wait to find out, though. I hope we have some stuff to put on it in there. And our bold plan is garbage. We don't have enough, like, good condiments to go with food that we might bring in. You think everybody's going to be mad that the whole place smells like popcorn?
If it's burnt popcorn.
I hope not to burn it. But I don't know.
We just have the one.
This microwave's horrible, so.
I can't ever get it to work. Do you just have the one bag?
Yeah, I just have that one bag.
We got to be careful.
All right, we'll be careful. We'll underpop it. Just enough for us to have a treat.
Yeah.
All right. Coming up, I've been warning Governor Brian Kemp about this. I've been warning the entire Atlanta area about this. Brian Kemp sold us out. I'll tell you why coming up after the top of the hour, right here on the Morning Extra.
The Kimmer Show is only on Extra 106.3 every weekday afternoon on your drive home.
She has been handed every single thing because of who she is and what she looks like, not by any accomplishment she did. She would be the first black American woman to win, but she didn't win, did she?
No.
She was appointed. She didn't get elected by the people because she didn't earn it.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Its technology is not just intelligent, it's thoughtful. Its cabin is not only spacious, but sensuous and stylish. It's indulgent, yet versatile. Meet the 2025 Mercedes-Benz GLC 300 SUV. With its electrified performance, it can energize you with every drive. Experience the 2025 GLC 300 SUV and lease one for just $509 per month for 36 months with $44.63 due at signing. Exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this vehicle and many other models. And visit today to see how to qualify. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta, Sandy Springs through October 31st, 2024. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia Lemon Law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers. Visit rbmofatlanta.com or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
While fall temperatures are cooling down, the action in the stadium and on the field is really heating up. If you find yourself in hot water from too much celebrating during the game, it's important to know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds. We handle bonds for those at the bends to those who celebrate action between the hedges. At A Second Chance, we can have you or your loved one out of jail in a matter of hours. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT. Or online at atlbail.com.
Get ready for unfiltered conversations on The Janelle King Show, where we tackle the topics that you won't hear at your family gatherings, but they're absolutely crucial for a strong republic. Don't miss us live every Saturday at 3 p.m. and every Sunday at 9 a.m. right here on Extra 106.3. But if you can't tune in, that's okay. You can catch new episodes every Tuesday on the Podcast Park or wherever you prefer to get your podcasts. Join us for these discussions, and I can't wait to meet you there.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9313. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9313. That's 800-575-9313. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Rhino here for my elves at True Prep. Black Friday is here, and it's your chance to snag deals at one of the most unique stores in Atlanta, True Prep. Find the perfect gift that shows care and thought, not just another tie or gift card from a big box store. The savings are huge, but they won't last long. For details, visit us on Cobb Parkway in Marietta or online at trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow at True Prep.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's the Kimmer. How's it going? Here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Interesting week, don't you think? A lot of celebrating, a lot of whining, a lot of blame placing. One real high point is now I think we can all be assured the hyena's day as a political player in America is severely limited.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app. The Morning Extra from 6 to 10 a.m. and The Kimmer Show from 3 to 6 p.m. Only on WFOM and W292EV Marietta. Extra 106.3 FM.
Will it last?
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. A 60-day ceasefire went into effect this morning, stopping Israel's fight against Hezbollah. But Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, through a translator, warns of
full military action. If Hezbollah doesn't follow the agreement, we'll attack.
Israel's already decimated Hezbollah, killing its leader and many other senior militants. And as the ceasefire holds,
thousands of Lebanese civilians have begun to return to their homes near the Israeli border. Troops from Israel and the Iran-backed militant group Hezbollah have agreed to pull back from that area as part of the US brokered truce. But around 60,000 Israelis forced to evacuate communities in northern Israel have been told it's not yet safe for them to return home.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Now, Israel is still at war in Gaza. President Biden says
now Hamas has a choice to make. Their only way out is to release the hostages, including American citizens, which they hold.
They were kidnapped in the terror attack last year that triggered the war in Gaza and led Hezbollah to join the fight against Israel. The International Criminal Court is alleging crimes against Muslims in Burma, issuing an arrest warrant for Burma's military leader who took over in a coup in 2021. The incoming Trump border czar went to the Texas border, and Tom Homan told National Guard troops in Eagle Pass,
President Trump will secure this border. He's did it before, he's going to do it again. But this time we finish the job.
That includes, Homan says, a mass deportation after record illegal immigration, something some Democratic mayors and governors plan to resist. A lot of people are hitting the road or in long lines at airports the day before Thanksgiving.
AAA says nearly 80 million of us are expected to travel through Monday, with the vast majority going by car. And Mother Nature may not cooperate. Forecasters say winter storms could disrupt travel, complete with a cold front expected to sweep through the Midwest and South before heading east with precipitation and colder temperatures.
Fox's Tanya Dejay Powers. Only 19 flights are canceled. America's listening to Fox News.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Want weather? Grab your phone. Need traffic? Grab your phone. Conservative news and talk, also on your phone. Get the Extra 106.3 app.
Good morning. It's the Morning Extra. Tug, Rhino, and Carlos Medina. Carlos Medina, Tug Howard, out for their Thanksgiving holiday. Joking yesterday, they're the elites, so they have a lot more vacation time than Goey and myself. Although Goey could just be like, yeah, I'm not coming in.
Pretty much. I think that'd be frowned upon.
Yeah. Then you got to get a fill-in and all that. Boy, it looks like a beautiful sunrise this morning out there. Like to hear that. I'm heading out after the show. I know a lot of you are heading out. I hope you have holiday plans. And I hope that you don't have some of the crazy woke liberals that are going to lose their mind at your Thanksgiving. But if you do, keep calm and just be like, Trump 2024, Trump 2024, Project 2025, Project 2025. Just keep feeding into their craziness. I have no problem with that. Bask in the glory that is a Donald Trump presidency. He doesn't always get everything right. Nobody does. But I feel like this time around, he's got a good plan going forward. And I'm excited about that. We'll take your calls as well. 404-741-1230. You can call and get on with me, talk about the things you want to talk about. Also, make sure you go over to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. Make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Help us grow, because that's the important part, is word of mouth. Making sure, because they'll do anything to keep conservative talk off the air. We've already seen it. But the reality is we're stronger than ever. I'm part of that new right. I'm part of that Generation X. that says, we're done. We're done playing your games. We're done being nice. We're taking our country back. So follow us everywhere you can. Love to talk to you as well. All right. I have been on this rant for quite some time. I think it might be part of the reason that Brian Kemp and I, maybe we have a little bit of a fractured friendship. I don't even know if it's considered a friendship, maybe a professional kind of thing. I think he likes me. He promised me, and he hasn't delivered yet. But when I was hosting the Guy Benson show, filling in for Guy Benson on Fox News Radio, I asked Brian Kemp if he'd come on with me and talk about some of the things that were happening in Georgia. And I kind of made a comment that when Guy Benson does the show here from our studios, they bring him M&Ms, they bring him water, they bring him things. And then when I step in to do it, they all left. I didn't get any M&Ms. And Brian Kemp said, I'm going to bring you a bag of peanut M&Ms. He has not delivered. So I'm mad at him. But the reality is I'm more upset about what he did deliver. And this was part of the contention on that same show that I did with him, with Guy Benson. And I said, Governor Kemp, I'm going to ask you about something I'm concerned about. I don't like to bet winners and losers when it comes to business. I don't think the government should have any input on what companies are going to succeed or fail. And if a company is going to fail or not be able to get up and running and is unproven, I have a problem with the government getting involved. And Brian Kemp told me, no, don't worry about it. And we were talking about Rivian. If you don't know Rivian, you may have seen one truck on the road. And it is a e-truck. And it's I don't know. I don't like the look of it as much. I'm kind of a traditional guy. I would rather you just give me an old Ford F-150 and put a battery in it. I want that kind of body style. That's just who I am. But I'm also a guy who doesn't want a fully EV truck. I got my hybrid. I'll be honest. I think it's a really well-built, really well-thought-out truck. The Ford Maverick. Now, I will say this. And seeing that nobody has given me money for this truck or endorsed me or given me any deals, I'm not fully happy with this hybrid truck. And part of the reason is my computer screen's now gone out. I've only had it less than a year, about a year. My computer screen continually goes out and overheats. My heat heaters, whatever you want to call them, they're not working. The fuse, it hasn't been working. My 12-volt where I plug in my little paddleboard inflator, it blows every time I did it, and now I can't get that fixed. So I'm not completely happy, but I do like it for camping, and I do like it for the mileage. Living in Hiawassee at the time when I bought it, a 2-hour drive, it made sense. But still an unproven vehicle, much like the Rivian, which, again, we haven't seen a lot of. Part of the deal that we gave them were tax incentives to build a $5 billion factory here in the state of Georgia. And part of what our commitment as taxpayers, by the way, was the land grant, which was a big fight. A big fight. And they got the land. Part of it was that we would do the ecological, or they would do the ecological, testing, but we would clear the land. And it was this wasn't an acre. This is a big manufacturing plant. We would change the infrastructure of our highway and build roads for them. All of it was done. And then Rivian failed. Completely failed. And I had warned, what if they fail? Well, it won't cost you anything because they have a commitment. No, it already cost us stuff, Governor Kemp. It already cost the taxpayer money to build it. But the promise was, and what they kept telling us was, well, if they don't hire the amount of Georgians that they said they would, and at that point, I believe it was 8,500. Now they're down to 7,500. Then they will not get any of the other tax incentives because there's still tons of tax incentives that we would continue to pay for. In fact, at that time, I said, Governor Kemp, they're saying $197,000 per, it would cost us, per taxpayer. That's how much it would cost every taxpayer. It's a lot of money over the time of the company, not a year, by the way. And it was just a concern. And now that they failed, not only are they going to be able to continue down that path, they looked for funding through Volkswagen. They got a little bit of a kickback from them. But then the federal government decided to bail Rivian out. Again, they haven't even manufactured the cars that they say they're going to manufacture here in Georgia yet. None of them. They couldn't even meet any of the deadlines from their plant. They had a plant. They couldn't meet any deadline making any of their vehicles. And then they wanted to build a bigger plant because they said, oh, well, if you guys build that for us, we'll be sending out cars left and right. I don't know about you guys. I wouldn't buy a Rivian. Not now. I want to see what it does first. If it's a great truck, okay, maybe I'd look into it. I doubt it. I want something I can like drive off-road and pull trees down with. I'm looking for something a little heavier. But some people might go, hey, I want a truck to drive around that looks good. So Joe Biden comes out yesterday, and Joe Biden says, hey, we're going to finalize a $6.6 billion loan, a federal loan to fund a large-scale electric vehicle manufacturing plant named Rivian. So this would be a 9 million square foot facility, by the way, in Georgia. They call it Project Horizon. The Department of Energy now is in part with Rivian Automotive and the $6.57 billion loan. The loan, of course, comes from the Infrastructure Act. By the way, the loan is forgivable. That's your money, not just ours in Georgia. That is everyone's money now. So now the government is doing that. Now, why does this matter to Brian Kemp? Because his idea was, hey, I'm going to bring this to Georgia, and it's going to create hardworking Georgians, get them in jobs. Okay, I understood that part. And I would understand it if you came to me with a Hyundai or somebody who's been building cars and has success at this. But we don't have that. So now we are on the hook for all of this spending. And this is where it's going to affect Brian Kemp. Because you want to know who went to Joe Biden? Senator John Ossoff. Senator John Ossoff said, hey, we got to save this plant. We got to get this built here in Georgia. We promise the citizens of Georgia that they're going to get a Rivian plant, an EV plant. And, you know, Brian Kemp's been out there telling everybody Georgia's the EV capital of the world. And this could just have cost Brian Kemp the 2026 senator seat. Because this, mark my words, Wednesday, November 27th at 7:14, this will be brought up in the campaign if Brian Kemp decides that he's going to run for that seat against John Ossoff in 2026. How much did Brian Kemp just put on the shoulders of not just Georgians, but all Americans? With a $6.6 billion loan to bail out a company that can't even build a car. I mean, it sounds horrible to me. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe you guys think this is a good deal. I don't know. 404-741-1230. Tell me if I'm wrong. But I do know that this is a good deal for John Ossoff. Kemp's office was not praising the White House's loan guarantee. He just said, this is the nationally acclaimed business environment people want to come to. And I don't doubt that we're the number one state for business. But it's because we're giving them this loan. We're giving them the idea. We became Hollywood. We give them tax incentives, ridiculous amounts. We gave tax incentives and ideas for this Rivian. The people who live in that area have signs up that say we oppose Rivian. They say they're going to create 7,500 jobs by the end of 2030. I doubt it. But you never know. Now they have a new loan from us. So at least I guess all the infrastructure work that we already paid for, all the money that we put in to get them going to build a plant that the land's just been sitting there. The $1.5 billion that Governor Kemp gave as an incentive package. We're losing. He sold us out. For all the good things he's done, this is a bad one. And this is exactly the reason why a lot of people who listen to this show, a lot of people who do not like Brian Kemp for their own reasons, then I'll tell you what. This is one of the reasons that you have the right to be mad about. Because this is silly. All right, one of our good listeners, Keith, says, there are plenty of them on the road. Amazon truck as well. Keith, you must be a huge Rivian fan. I've seen, I don't know, a few.
I've seen some.
There are not plenty of them on the road.
I looked it up. They sold about 40,000 this year.
40,000 cars.
Yeah.
Around the world. Around the country.
In the United States, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is...
That's not a lot.
No.
It's not a lot. And I'll tell you why.
And that's all models as well.
Yeah. I'll tell you why that's not a lot. If it was a lot of cars and they were doing well and they had a lot of cars on the road, they wouldn't be borrowing $6.6 billion from the federal government and $1.5 billion from the state of Georgia. They're already getting a bailout. Yeah, I know they made a few Amazon trucks and they're working with Amazon. Amazon paid for that. That's different. Amazon paid them to build some of them. It's a pretty cool truck. I know they got those SUVs too. I guess they look cool. I don't know how effective they are. That's one thing I learned too. Don't ever drive on a beach with a car with a battery that big. Don't ever do it because you sink in the beach. They're so heavy. These trucks are so heavy. Keith said GM got bailed out. Yeah. I'm not for bailing anybody out. I'm tired of bailing people out. It's not my job. No one bails out my business. No, in fact, they come after me harder if you're a small business. It's ridiculous. We can't pick winners and losers. You want to file for bankruptcy, do all that. That's all on you. You want to borrow money from other companies, do it. But don't put it on us. That's what we're tired of.
The majority shareholder of Rivian is Amazon.
Yeah.
Ford and, of course, BlackRock.
MTG really upset about this as well, going all off on it. Hopefully she'll fight this fight for us because we need bulldogs like her. We'll see what happens. We got more on Peach State politics coming up later on the show. Barack Obama has lost the voters and the party. We got Walmart not going to go broke anymore. And then I got more on the border. Trump rolling back some student debt. We got a lot to do here on the Morning Extra. Tug, Rhino, Los. Rhino in for both Tug and Los today. And we'll take your calls. 404-741-1230. Come back. You got to hear about Barack Obama.
Hey, it's Tug. The Morning Extra has you covered from 6 to 10, and Kimmer's got you on the ride home.
The same ballless bastards who wouldn't stand up when Biden came up with the most embarrassing and worst withdrawal in the history of the U.S. military.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't stand up when they pushed drag queens in recruitment, and now they can't get anybody to join. Who didn't stand up when the DI stuff was shoved down their throat, where they all kept quiet in the background, will suddenly find their balls when Trump is president. This is the same military a few years ago when Milley was in charge, who said he would alert the Chinese military if Trump was going to do something against them, which is treason. Why is his head not on a pike?
That story disappeared. That story was a story for maybe a day and a half, and it was like a side note saying, well, he even told the Chinese once he really ought to, and it was just like it was like a Shakespearean aside, that black ram is stopping your white you. I mean, I couldn't freaking believe it. It's gone. Nobody remembers that stuff.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Have you thought about securing your hard-earned assets? Do you have concerns about the future? Protecting assets is crucial, and that's where Nelson Elder Care Law excels. As a family-owned and family-focused firm, we provide absolute assurance and peace of mind through our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust, tailored services in estate planning, probate administration, Medicaid crisis solutions, guardianship, and conservatorship. Our goal is to exceed your expectations and empower informed decisions. Visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com for asset protection and peace of mind.
USPS Ground Advantage, the affordable and reliable shipping solution for the holidays. Learn more at USPS.com/advantage.
We're sharing more love than ever before during the 2024 Subaru Share the Love event. By the end of this year, Subaru and its retailers like Jennifer and the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett will have donated nearly $320 million to charities like the ASPCA, Make-A-Wish, Meals on Wheels America, and the National Park Foundation. It's the reason why we say Subaru of Gwinnett is more than a car dealer. We always go the extra mile for our community. And during the 2024 Subaru Share the Love event, you can drive away in the Subaru model you've had your eye on all year. But now through January 2nd is the only time you can get a new Subaru, and Subaru of Gwinnett will donate $250 to a charitable cause of your choosing. It's just one way that we share the love this holiday season. Visit SubaruofGwinnett.com for details and start shopping for the Subaru that your family will love for years to come. Then come by and see us for a test drive and meet our staff. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru. Subaru of Gwinnett, Satellite Boulevard in Duluth, and online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
Hey there, I'm Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly, Cobb's premier lifestyle magazine, where you'll find familiar faces, local voices, and community businesses like Vera Whole Health.
Hi, I'm Reggie. We at Vera Whole Health aren't your average primary care provider. We offer behavioral health clinicians, health coaches, nurses, and registered dietitians. Our staff coordinates each patient's individualized needs through a highly care team of providers. Also, we are so thrilled to offer services to Blue Cross and Blue Shield members in Georgia and are now accepting new patients. As a matter of fact, you can even get same-day or next-day appointments as well as virtual care options for easy convenience. We'd love to meet you. Reach out to heyvera.health/anthem or just call 404-850-0045 to schedule today.
Thanks, Reggie. All in one care, all in one place. Sounds great to me. We love our advertising partners, and remember, our town is your town at Our Town Monthly.
Media Minute with Howard Kurtz.
I have to blow the whistle on an incredible wave of media hype. Special counsel Jack Smith asking the judge who approved to drop all federal charges against Donald Trump. Now, obviously, that has to be reported, but we all knew this was coming. Smith had signaled that he was going to do this because it is Justice Department policy not to indict or prosecute a sitting president. He had signaled that this was the way he was going to go. What was his choice? He could either act now and resign or wait till January 20th when Trump would fire him. And yet, hour after hour after hour was breaking news on CNN, on MSNBC, in the big papers. And yet, there was really no news there. Instead, Smith had no choice
Who wants to sit around and wait to be fired? With your Media Minute, Howie Kurtz, Fox News.
Fox on Tech. Another social network runs afoul of the laws of Europe. A number of U.S. users of social media are finding their way to yet another Twitter clone social media service, all due to politics. It's called Blue Sky, and a number of users of X, the former Twitter, say they've done so in protest of Elon Musk's endorsement of Donald Trump, which they say helped the former president win back the White House. Blue Sky was founded by Twitter creator Jack Dorsey. He has since left this new company, but now the European Union, which has been cracking down on tech companies and social networks over a myriad of issues ranging from content moderation to creative licenses, says Blue Sky is violating its laws by not divulging on its network how many EU users it has or where the company is headquartered. But the EU's online regulations are designed for networks with 45 million users, a status Blue Sky has yet to achieve. With Fox on Tech, I'm Eben Brown, Fox News.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines. Presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your top stories in the state of Georgia for today, Wednesday, November 27th. 167 days, more than 170 witnesses, and after a full calendar year, jurors finally sat for deliberation in the YSL gang and racketeering trial. The jury deliberated for nearly 3 hours yesterday, trying to decide the fate of the last two defendants, Shannon Stillwell and DeMonte Kendrick. 4 other defendants have already taken plea deals after pleading guilty to some charges for lesser sentences, including rapper Young Thug. The jury is set to continue deliberations this morning. If they do not return with a verdict, Judge Whitaker will dismiss them for the holiday with plans to reconvene on Monday. The body of a 31-year-old TikTok creator, Giari Schneider, was found inside a car he had borrowed from a friend. Schneider disappeared after a night out at a local club on November 15th and never returned. The wooded area where he was found was near a content house Schneider used to collaborate and create ideas for his social media platforms. His family fears that the 31-year-old could have been a victim of foul play. Clayton County police are continuing to investigate Schneider's death. And in sports, the Georgia Bulldogs have jumped back to number 7 in the nation in the college football playoff rankings. The Bulldogs need a convincing win against rival Georgia Tech this weekend to maintain the ranking. They must also win the SEC championship game on December 7th against the winner of the Texas and Texas A&M matchup. With your headlines, Scott Rhino, Extra 106.3. The Morning Extra, Tug, Rhino, and Lowe's. Tug and Lowe's out for the holiday weekend. Port Up Goey and myself here. The 7 o'clock hour, by the way, brought to you by our good friends over at Van Sant Law. If you've been in an accident, you got to make that call. Call Van Sant Law go to their website right now. See all the money they make people, because that's the important part. VanSantLaw.com. Well, the important part is that you're safe and you're okay first. The second part is making the people who hit you and ruined your day and your life, make sure they pay. I'm all for it. All these kids on their phones running around, not driving Rivians, I can tell you that. In fact, Goat Redneck Poet, one of our good listeners, says, I'm on the road 14 hours a day and I've probably seen 2 Rivian vehicles. This is no different than Obama flushing billions into losing green companies. Oh, that hasn't stopped either. Because now you have the climate activists and their global COP20 telling you we need $300 billion a year from you. For what? To fix the climate. Okay, and what's wrong with it? We don't know. You know how much money we've dumped into that? And every year, if we've dumped billions into it, the way Obama did, why isn't it getting any better? Well, shouldn't these things be fixed? We've made so many changes and they keep saying it's getting worse. It doesn't make sense. When Obama did this, we weren't riding around in EVs. We didn't have EV buses. We didn't have any of this stuff that's been going on. We got to stop funding those things. But We need you before the GOAT Redneck Poet. You need to go to Amazon and get his book so we don't have to bail him out. Although I'd rather get his book and bail that out than other cars. And speaking of Barack Obama has lost all of his power. I know, it sounds crazy, right? It does. But I think this election, more than anything else, has kind of shown us that, it's no longer his party. It's not his party at all. Dems are actually looking for answers and saying, hey, how do we move past Barack Obama and his influence? Barack Obama could not get Kamala Harris through that campaign and across the finish line. And I think a lot of Democrats see that as a complete failure on Barack Obama's part. Now, in all honesty, from the outside looking in, I didn't think Barack Obama wanted her as the candidate in the first place. I don't think that would have been his pick. And I think that he's got a big part behind the scenes of the deep state, but he's not the main decision maker. The people who made him rich, those are the ones who are making the decisions. But when you see a butt kicking the way that Trump did to Kamala Harris, yeah, most of that was Kamala Harris's fault because she had a horrible campaign strategy. She had horrible people working for her campaign. Most of them were too busy with their fake joy making dance videos and actually focusing on issues that Americans cared about. But then when Trump delivers a 312 to 226 electoral college victory and butt whooping, I was going to say an ass whooping, and I probably could. I won't get in trouble for that, Joey, will I? Nah,
you should be set.
All right, good. You didn't hit the dumb button, so it's out there anyway. That made Barack Obama look weak. And a lot of the people, like Jed Johnson, who was Obama's Homeland Security Secretary, he said, we got to do better than reach back to its glory days to find victory. See, they were going backwards. And part of the reason that Barack Obama has lost his power and lost his influence is that the progressive ideas he tried to bring with him and tried to push onto us, people have rejected. People didn't reject Trump for any reasons except for not a good reason. They didn't go, he'd be horrible with the economy. No, he's Hitler. Barack Obama pushed those lines. He's an insurrectionist. No, he's not. He's never been convicted. He's a rapist. No, he's not. That's a lie. I saw it with my own eyes. People who I knew loved Barack Obama. Oh, they had the Hope T-shirts. They got posters up of him. They loved him. And they said, we're tired of it. We're tired of being told that we need help. We're not good enough. We're not smart enough. I think people began to realize that we are tired of the hate and division that the Obamas brought with them. Because that's what he brought. He started off okay with his first campaign. Because he brought up a point that I think is important. Only in a country like the United States of America can a man who looks like me become the president of the United States. Because the reality of this country and the reality that most common sense people see, they don't see racism the way they try to push out there. The white supremacists running around. Actual white supremacists in this country, those crazy, sick people, it's like 0.001%. White privilege, a made-up idea. Because my son has blonde hair and blue eyes, he's got privilege? Please. Trying to figure out how I can get him a Christmas present. There's no privilege. People realize it. A lot of my friends, not all of them are white, because this country is the most diverse country in the world. And even Democrats know that there is no better place on earth than the United States for diversity and tolerance. In this country, nobody gets thrown off the roof of a building because who they sleep with. In this country, unlike Japan, You can come here and rent a house if you're Muslim. Can't do that in other countries. Are there bad people in this world that we want to make sure they are not part of this system? Yes, absolutely. But it's never because of their color or their race. It's because of their actions. It's because they don't have merit. But see, Democrats and even progressives understand that what Barack Obama says, what they make Oprah Winfrey say, what they make, and Michelle Obama, of course, Mike, what he says, and then, of course, what Kamala Harris and Tim Walz tried to do, lying, they realize deep down inside, even the progressives, they would never be able to say or do the things they do in another country. This country, the United States of America, is the only place you can do this. There's a reason why, part of the tariff reason for Canada and Mexico is 97 different countries over the past year. People from 97 different countries try to get in here because they understand the diversity. They understand that people have the ability to make a future and live in an American dream. So when Barack Obama comes out and calls black men stupid for not voting for Kamala Harris just because she's black, and your blackness needs to be questioned by Barack Obama, get out of here. They're not falling for it anymore. They're leaving you. And for good reason. Because you offer nothing. You didn't bring anything to this election that made American people say, hey, this is the right direction. Trump did. Trump did. Trump beat Barack Obama. Trump beat Kamala Harris. Trump beat Joe Biden. Trump beat every Democrat to the ground. Trump beat George Soros. Trump beat $1 billion influx into a campaign that completely failed. Not because what the Democrats want to say, he cheated or anybody's racist or people hate women, blah, blah, blah. No. Because the American people said, I've had enough. This is stupid. I don't care about you being trans, but you're not going to go in my locker room. But I don't even care about that. I'm not voting for that. It's a huge issue, but I want my kid to be safe. Whether they're trans or not, I don't want someone from another country who has a criminal record, who raped 3 women back in Mexico, who raped 3 women in Croatia, wherever they came from. I want them out. Trump won because he said, hey, I know you trust me with the economy. Were you better 4 years ago? Yup. Sure were. Oh, no, we weren't. I mean, 9. When Biden had a lie about interest being 9%, you know they're lost. They were handed a great economy. Yep, the pandemic screwed it up. Sure did. But because of the base economy that Donald Trump built, we were able to recover a little bit until the Democrats got their hand on it. And then they made it almost impossible, and they're continuing to. Realize that, again, Barack Obama, they're all frauds. Kamala Harris has been gone for 3 weeks. She's not working for you anymore. She lost, so now she's taking her her bottle, and going home and crying. She's given up. She's not working. She has a job to do. Tell me where else you could be like, I'm gone for 3 weeks. Well, you haven't worked the last 3.5 years. This is a 4-year contract, lady. Is she doing any of the things? Is she stopping the flow like she said she would? No. Has she lowered prices like she said she would? No. Has she, hey, black men, you can get $50,000 to start a business. Has she worked on any of those small business loans? Nope. But look what they're trying to do. Fund a war and push all your money into that. They're not helping you. They're helping an unforgivable loan, billions of dollars to Ukraine. They're sending weapons to Israel. Are they helping you? They're giving money to illegals. Are they helping you? They never worked for you, and people realized it. And that's why Kamala Harris is an embarrassment and a loser, and why Barack Obama is done. This is the Morning Extra coming up. We're going to try the TikTok, the popcorn. We're not going to try it. We're going to start it and then put it in the freezer. And we're going to drive everybody in this place crazy. That's coming up on the Morning Extra. But before that, Walmart won't go broke. Bye-bye woke.
From the latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust, your best new follow on social media is Extra 1063. We're at XTRA 1063 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite Extra personalities. Get the latest on our live events and so much more. Follow at Extra 1063 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
We're sharing more love than ever before during the 2024 Subaru Share the Love event. By the end of this year, Subaru and its retailers like Jennifer and the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett will have donated nearly $320 million to charities like the ASPCA, Make-A-Wish, Meals on Wheels America, and the National Park Foundation. It's the reason why we say Subaru of Gwinnett is more than a car dealer. We always go the extra mile for our community. And during the 2024 Subaru Share the Love event, you can drive away in the Subaru model you've had your eye on all year. But now through January 2nd is the only time you can get the new Subaru, and Subaru of Gwinnett will donate $250 to a charitable cause of your choosing. It's just one way that we share the love this holiday season. Visit SubaruofGwinnett.com for details and start shopping for the Subaru that your family will love for years to come. Then come by and see us for a test drive and meet our staff. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru. Subaru of Gwinnett, Satellite Boulevard in Duluth, and online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
Tune into your new favorite show that's redefining the A to Z's of marketing, the Marketing Mad Men. We'll take you behind the scenes of successful campaigns and reveal the strategies that win. We're not just talking about marketing, we're making it happen. From viral content creation to leveraging AI for customer engagement, our experts bring you to the cutting edge of industry. This is your playbook for market dominance. Tune in and transform your approach with actionable tips that could skyrocket your ROI. The Marketing Mad Men every Saturday at 4 p.m. right here on Extra 1063.
A musician with technical knowledge can play all the right notes. But one who cares enough to play from the heart gives music soul. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Because when you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Start feeling unstoppable. Visit Truist.com/care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
Looking for bold discussions on vital issues? Tune in to The Janelle King Show every Saturday at 3 p.m. with an encore episode every Sunday at 9 a.m. right here on Extra 106.3, where we dive into kitchen table topics that are essential for a strong republic. Don't miss an episode, but if you do, it's all good because we have new podcasts that drop every Tuesday on the Podcast Park or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss out on these thought-provoking conversations.
It's November 27th, and this is your Fox Daily Snapshot. Today is National Bavarian Cream Pie Day. The great French pastry chef Marie-Antoine Carême is the man responsible for the modern Bavarian cream pie. Carême is believed to have perfected the method of making Bavarian cream by adding gelatin to the sweet custard, which allows it to set more firmly. After that, add the cream to a pie crust and allow it to set. A treat that was once the domain of gourmet restaurants and five-star hotels, now everyone can enjoy a slice of Bavarian cream pie. Also on this date, in 1895, Swedish chemist Alfred Nobel establishes the Nobel Prize in his will. The first Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is held in New York City in 1924, and in 2017, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle announced their engagement. If it's your birthday today, you share it with martial artist and actor Bruce Lee, born in 1940, and filmmaker Catherine Bigelow, born in 1951. I'm Tushar Saxena, and that's your Fox Daily Snapshot.
I'm Gianna Gelosi with your Fox True Crime Minute. The Menendez brothers will not be home for Christmas. A judge in Los Angeles pushed back a resentencing hearing from December 11th to January 30th to give newly elected DA Nathan Hochman time to review the thousands of pages of evidence in the case. Hochman on Fox's The Story.
I'm going to be doing that thorough review of the facts and the law, as apparently the judge will as well.
Outgoing DA George Gascon recommended their sentences be changed to 50 years to life, making them eligible for parole. The Menendez brothers were convicted in 1996 of killing their parents in their Beverly Hills mansion 7 years prior. Their first trial, which included evidence of sexual abuse at the hands of their father, ended in a deadlock. Their retrial, without much of that evidence, ended in a life without parole murder sentence. The brothers' two aunts appeared in court Monday calling for their release. There's more on this story at foxnews.com or subscribe to the Fox True Crime podcast. I'm Gianna Gelosi with your Fox True Crime Minute.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Pete, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
It seems somebody done us all a favor by producing a list of all of the celebrities that promised they would leave America if Trump won. You want to hear it? I'll read fast. Adam Baldwin, Whoopi Goldberg, John Legend, Chrissy Teigen, Rob Reiner, Barbara Streisand, Cher, Nancy Pelosi, Hillary Clinton, Megan Rapinoe, Tom Hanks, Amy Schumer, AOC, Lady Gaga, Taylor Swift, Bill Gates, Jane Fonda, Madonna, Mark Ruffalo, Kim Kardashian, Bruce Springsteen, George Clooney, Hunter Biden, Oprah, Robert De Niro, Samuel L. Jackson, Miley Cyrus, Travis Kelce, Rashida Tlaib, Stormy Daniels, Anthony Fauci, George Soros, Eminem, Ellen DeGeneres, Sean Penn, Sharon Stone, Ashley Judd, Tommy Lee, Bryan Cranston, and Billy Joe Armstrong. Who dat?
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app. Love having a true conservative news and talk station in Atlanta? Then spread the word. Tell your family and friends to download the Extra 106.3 app and stream the Morning Extra, The Kimmer Show, and Atlanta's biggest lineup of conservative voices.
I can't do the dance yet. I'm working for it. I'll never be able to do it. The Morning Extra, Tug, Rhino, and Los. Tug and Los out for the holiday. Rhino in. It's a Rhino takeover. I like doing it every once in a while. We've talked a lot today. We just talked about Barack Obama, how he lost the party, and nobody is going to trust him again to help with the campaign. We talked a lot about tariffs. We're going to talk about that probably throughout the show as well, because I think that's a huge thing. We also have coming up, we're going to talk about all these bailouts. We talked about Rivian and what Brian Kemp has done to us, but we're also going to talk about Trump and how he can responsibly roll back student debt. That's going to be important. Tom Homan went to the border. We're going to talk about that as well. And Democrats here in the state of Georgia are scrambling to replace Nikema Williams. We'll talk about that. I'm excited to talk about this one. You heard the song, Bye, Bye, Bye. And I thought that was appropriate because Walmart is saying bye, bye, bye. This is the rise of the anti-woke. Walmart will no longer go broke. Wow, I made that rhyme. You've seen a lot of big companies, Walmart, Ford, John Deere, Toyota, a lot of these other big major companies that shareholders are saying we need to ditch this controversial DEI initiative. It's not helping in any way. We saw what happened to Target. Go ahead. Come after our children. Try to influence our children. Bye. We saw what happened with Bud Light. It's out of our fridges. Not mine. Erin loves Bud Light. I think it's just because it's like water with beer flavor, but she loves Bud Light. But in reality, they went woke. Bye. And there's so many others. Harley Davidson right now, they are having an issue with it. Jaguar is also having an issue with it. But Walmart looked and said, hey, we might be the biggest company in the nation, maybe even in the world. When it comes to selling things, Walmart's right there. Robbie Starbuck, who is an activist and a filmmaker, I see him a lot on X. He sat with Walmart executives talking about why they need to get away from their DEI ideas and their policies. So Starbucks actually sat down with Walmart rather than going. See, this is the difference between Democrats. They want to cancel everything. They go on Twitter. They throw things out. They put it behind a meme or whatever, and then they're never held responsible. And they don't have dialogue. They just yell and scream and throw fits and ask for space, say spaces, and act like children. Starbucks said, I'd love to sit down and talk about this. It's this easy. He asked them to start removing some of the sexual and transgender products that are inappropriately marketed towards our children, because that's what they were doing. He also said, hey, let's start reviewing some of these grants that you give to pride events, because what ends up happening is Walmart is giving these grants to these, activist pride event groups. And what are they doing with these money? The money, they are trying to find a way to get sexualized content to children. They're inviting them to the pride parades. They're putting them on floats, these kind of things. Now, Walmart says, well, I'm glad that you're here. We've been working on this for years. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. But Walmart did confirm that they plan to change how they monitor the products within their marketplace. And they'll also review the funding of some of these grants. And Walmart said, hey, there are some products that we looked and that might violate policies, and we're going to remove those. One of those, by the way, marketed to children, young girls in particular. Young girls that they say, hey, maybe you're trans. I know you like to play baseball with the guys. I know you don't like to put makeup on, but you just want to go ride your bike with the other guys. Probably a boy. So we got you this here at Walmart. A chest binder. You heard that? A chest binder for young girls. This is a product that is designed to keep the chest flattened. So it manipulates biology and the growth pattern of these young ladies so they won't develop boobs. Oh, gosh, I bet all the woke are left. He said boobs. That's how disgusting Walmart was dealing with these things. And it's been going on behind the scenes because, Walmart, they have a really big online store and an online product. So a lot of these things you can find on those. So they started removing some of those. It's a big win because a lot of people shop at Walmart. Up in Hiawassee, the only place you can go within 45 minutes to get things that you need for your home is usually Walmart. And it's a 45-minute drive to Blairsville to get it. So you don't have a choice but to probably shop there. I mean, we have an Ingles for groceries, but that's it. And sometimes you can go to Walmart, and even though it's a 45-minute drive, you save money. They're going to review their grants, too. They're going to look for these community events to make sure that, hey, this is an appropriate environment for children. This is how you stop it, by the way. You got to give Robbie Starbuck a lot of credit. Because Walmart now has realized the mistakes they've made by catering to this tyrannical minority, by the way. This is a small group of people who are mentally insane that think they are better women than real women, these men. And a lot of these companies like Bud Light said, yep, Dylan Mulvaney, you're a better woman than most women we know. Come on. We're going to put you on a can. And again, I don't blame Dylan Mulvaney. He's an adult. He may be mentally insane. But if someone were to come in and say, hey, here's $2 million, we're going to put you on a can, why would he say no? I may not agree with what he's doing or how he kind of puts his product out there towards children and acts like an 8-year-old girl. Act like a woman if you're going to pretend to be one. Get in character, dude. But to say, hey, we're not going to market to kids anymore, that's a good thing. Doesn't mean Walmart has to pull back from pride events. If you don't want to shop them because they support pride, that's fine. But if they do it in a responsible way, I don't care. but do not market to our kids. I don't need to see it in my stores in my face because 0.01% of the tyrannical minority want to see it. The left is going to lose their mind over this, by the way. Watch what they do next when they find out about this. They will boycott Walmart like crazy. All right, I put the popcorn in. We'll try that later on in the show. But coming up, we got to talk more about how great Tom Homan is as the new border czar. Got a lot from his visit down to the border yesterday with Greg Abbott. That's coming up on the Morning Extra after a Bortz report. By the way, the 7 o'clock hour is brought to you by our good friends over at Van Sant Law. If you've been in an accident, make the right call, vansantlaw.com.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
When it comes to what to get rid of at the federal level, I vote for the Department of Education. It's a total, absolute failure. Over 40 years. The DOE has shown itself to be useless when it comes to educating our children. The achievement gap between students at the highest and lowest ends of the economic scale has stayed the same for 50 years. Reading and math scores today, on the average, are at historic lows. $60 billion a year and more from the taxpayers, $200 billion during COVID, and absolutely nothing to show for it except stronger teachers' unions. Oh, and the Department of Education has been working very hard to change the definition of sex and gender. 3 years working with the Civil Rights Act to replace sex in the law with sexual orientation and gender identity. Yeah, that's what we formed the Department of Education for. Oh, and they've spent more millions of dollars trying to figure out whether they should allow boys to use girls' restrooms. Meanwhile, no improvement anywhere in the quality of education in this country. But take heart, maybe something's going to change. November the 21st, Senator Mike Rounds, a Republican, South Dakota, introduced Senate Bill 5384, a bill to abolish the Department of Education, designed to take education of our children out of the federal government and return it to the states, which would be a vast improvement. Senate Bill 5384. Let's watch it. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3 FM.
Make holiday magic this year with something beautiful and timeless from Diamonds Direct. A stunning eternity band, a pair of classic diamond stud earrings, something new and eye-catching from a world-class designer, or maybe you're looking for that perfect engagement ring or a fabulous timepiece. At Diamonds Direct, we have the perfect gifts for the season, starting at around $500. Come and let our experts help you pick out that headliner gift. Or for some fabulous ideas, see the online seasonal gift guide now at diamondsdirect.com. You can even chat now with a virtual assistant for the ultimate convenience. Whether you connect online or in person, you're guaranteed to get the extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and white glove service Diamonds Direct is known for. And to help make your purchase even more affordable, we've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
I know it doesn't feel like it right now, but the cold air is coming fast. That means a couple different things to me and you. Energy bills will be rising and company coming over for the holidays. Dan Watkins here with all Four Seasons garage, entry doors, and windows. It's time to get your house ready for the winter air and your holiday visitors. The good news is that we have you covered for every opening in your home. So call us today to set up a free estimate with one of our amazing sales consultants. They'll help you pick out the perfect garage door, front door, and windows for your home.
Hey, it's Flounder, and the Kimmer Show is live every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m.
This is a man who was a Nazi, and he just got the Jews and the Muslims to come together and vote for him. He's the worst Nazi ever.
And the black people. You got and Nazis don't really like black people either.
I mean, Jews and Muslims came together.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app. WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 8 a.m. hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air.
The rockets and the airstrikes have stopped. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Israel and Hezbollah are in day one of a 2-month ceasefire that took effect this morning in Lebanon.
There are reasons for both sides to accept this ceasefire. Firstly, Hezbollah has been decimated by the Israelis over the last 14 months. Their entire leadership, including the head Nasrallah, has been killed. You remember those pages exploding that wounded thousands of them. And Iran, who finance and back them, they're also on the back foot, and they have supported this as well. On the Israeli side, their original aim for attacking Hezbollah was to get the 60,000 displaced Israelis back home, and this ceasefire allows that.
Fox's Benjamin Hall. The U.S. helped broker this ceasefire, and President Biden's already eyeing another.
Just as the Lebanese people deserve a future of security and prosperity, so do the people of Gaza. They, too, deserve an end to the fighting.
And today, the president posted on X the U.S. will be working with Israel and Turkey and Egypt and others to try to work out a ceasefire deal with Hamas to free hostages taken in the terror attack last year that triggered the war. The International Criminal Court, which controversially issued an arrest warrant for Israel's prime minister, is out with another one today.
At the center of this case are alleged crimes against Burma's Rohingya Muslim minority dating back to 2017. The International Criminal Court's chief prosecutors asked judges to issue an arrest warrant for Senior General Min Aung Hlaing. He seized power in a coup in 2021, ousting elected leader Aung San Suu Kyi.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. President-elect Trump is going to bring a key advisor back for his second administration. Kevin Hassett will head the National Economic Council. Jamison Greer is the Trump pick to be U.S. Trade Representative.
And joining the healthcare team, Dr. Jay Bhattacharya. He was nominated to lead the National Institutes of Health. He had been a critic of COVID-era shutdowns.
That's Fox's Doug Luzader. A lot of Americans traveling the day before Thanksgiving, but there are only 20 flights canceled. America's listening to Fox News.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
I wake up every morning with the Morning Xtra.
Meek Mill.
Look, I be riding through my old hood, but I'm in my new.
Does he say bad words? Bring that down a little. Man, you're like, this is too loud for our listeners. What are you doing? We're old people.
Oh, I forgot.
I can do my Trump dance.
It's pretty good.
Not bad. You can see it on YouTube.
Little hop, little bounce.
Little bounce. I got a little more rhythm, I think, than Donald Trump.
Oh, trumpet.
Meek Mill, a big Trump supporter, by the way.
That's true.
That's why he's getting played on this show this morning. I wonder if he likes popcorn. This is a big talk.
Who doesn't like popcorn?
I don't know. There are people out there. The Morning Extra with Tug, Rhino, and Los. Tug and Los all for the vacation. Joey and myself, no vacation days. We're not part of that elite that gets 100 days a year. We only get a few. So we had to be here throughout the holiday. We're going to leave today, though. We are off Thursday and Friday. You'll get a best of show. Hang out with us. Listen. See some of the fun things. Or just enjoy your family time. Either way, that's fine. So we talked earlier about the TikTok challenge, and there was a TikToker who was stunned by making popcorn, and from what he heard, throw it in the freezer. So I took what he said, and I said, we got to try this, Joey. I mean, anytime we could get popcorn, not to mention, I went and popped it. And, you know, we have our studios, and then we have 680 The Fan, our sister station down the hall. So the whole place smells like popcorn right now.
The entire office smells like popcorn.
And everybody's like, wow, that smells good. Because I didn't burn it.
Great job.
I did a great job. And I will tell you, one of the things I learned while popping this popcorn, you put it in a Ziploc bag and then throw it in the freezer for an hour. So we're going to try it around 8:40. So I'm telling you, you have to stay around because you're not going to want to miss that. That was kind of sarcasm. You may. I don't care. I'm going to have fun today.
Do what you want.
Exactly.
It's your life. Live it.
They're not here. I get to do whatever I want. But there are kernels still in the bag. And I poured them into the Ziploc bag. And, well, I didn't think about how hot those kernels were. And they leaked right through the bottom of the bag. And they went all over the floor. So I had to scoop those up real quick.
How many dropped? I thought you were like one drop.
No, like 4 or 5.
Oh, okay.
And so I think it'll still be okay, but I'm going to give you that bag because I got to get the fresh bag that has no holes.
That's fine.
I think you'll be fine.
I'll eat burnt plastic. Won't be the first time.
Yeah, I mean, it won't be bad. Please. We used to chew like those wax lips. I can't even imagine what those were made out of, how much plastic they were. So we'll let you know how that goes as well. And I'm going to put up a video. We'll let you know. I don't know. I tried to do a video and then I got lazy and I filmed me telling you what I was going to do, but then I didn't put it in the freezer and do the whole video thing. I need like Bella and Amanda to follow me around with a camera.
It's almost like we need a social media team.
That'd be great. They do everything for 680. They barely even like come over here unless they're like, we give them the opportunity to come on air. They're like, yeah, I want to talk on the radio.
It's the only way they come over. Or Bella just comes and like dishes all the drama to me.
Oh, God.
While I'm working.
Is she a drama queen or what? This girl is a drama queen. And the one thing, so she is really good. She understands sports. She loves sports. She loves football. And so she asked me to look at one of her videos online. And I said, yeah, absolutely. And she's like, give me some feedback. And I said, I will. And I went to the video. And one of the things about being a broadcaster, we all have crutches. We say things. A lot of people will do it happens all the time. I do it. Tug does it. Carlos every once in a while, but not as much because we are cognizant now when we hear it. The other one that I used a lot, and I'm trying to remember what it was because it used to drive Matt Egger crazy, and I've gotten out of it, but I think it was like literally. Maybe I said literally a lot. Literally, this is a problem. Literally, this is. So I started pulling that out. Well, she's got the like, and this is a thing with all your kids. My son does this, and it drives Erin, my girlfriend, absolutely crazy.
I do it from time to time, too.
You do it.
'Cause I'm 24.
But this is a kid's thing. So as I'm listening to Bella, she is talking about Georgia Tech, and she's like, the front line is like so big, and, you know, like if the quarterback and so now when she starts doing that to correct it, what I do is when she says things and says, that was like blue. Well, was it like blue or is it blue? And I have to do this to my son, and Erin does this to my son, and it drives him nuts, but it slowly gets that out. So I've been teasing her about that, which is kind of fun. So we'll see what she says about this popcorn, too.
Mine is whenever I transition from a thought, I go, but like.
Yes.
But like, luckily, I don't do it's like blue. It's like this, like that. I go.
I don't know where this came from. This is the problem with social media and school. If they're not fixing this in school, we got a problem.
The like came from Clueless. From that Valley Girl stuff.
I watched Clueless when I was a kid. I don't walk around going like. It's a new thing that these kids are doing. Leanne says, we are old people with teenagers in our house. Sounds like home. Yeah, see, we all have to deal with this. And our kids and the weird things. But we're going to have fun. All right. Speaking of kids, 350,000 children are still missing that came across the border due to the Biden-Harris administration. As they tell you they care about kids and families, they don't. They don't. And I'm really happy that Tom Homan is the border czar. Tom Homan is not even installed as the border czar yet. Tom Homan has a good history of being a person who has the experience, understands what it's like to be an ICE officer, and he is getting right to work. Again, he hasn't even been put into the position, and he went to the border yesterday. He went to one of those areas that, everybody else ignores. He went to Eagle Pass. And if you don't know Eagle Pass, that's one of the hot spots of illegal crossings. It's where the border agents, Custom Border Patrol, have the most problems. And that's where Tom Homan met Greg Abbott yesterday. He has now, again, not even in charge yet, been to those most active areas of the border more than Biden and Harris combined in 4 years. Think about that. This is why we voted someone like Donald Trump in, to put people in that are going to take this serious. He went down there not only to talk to the Border Patrol agents and the Texas National Guard and all the men and women that are putting their lives on the line dealing with these illegal crossings, and fed them meals for Thanksgiving because it showed how much they care about those people. You never saw that from the other side. You remember when Biden and Harris brought Thanksgiving meals to all the hardworking border agents? Nope. Do you remember when they handed out $900 gift cards to all the illegals that came across, though? Yep. You never saw that from them. What you did was you saw them spreading lies. Biden and Harris, especially Harris, love to spread lies and misinformation about the Custom Border Patrol. They didn't bring them turkey or talk about their families. No, they said they were whipping migrants like they were slaves. Now, of course, they have no idea about a horse, how to ride a horse, what a horse looks like, or anything, because they live in their little mansions with their walls around so no one can get in. But what the Custom Border Patrols were doing is exactly what you do with a horse. You hold the reins. And in order to keep the horse safe and to keep people safe, you don't whip the horse. You circle the rein with your hand to keep the horse in the one direction and not moving in another, and keep people away so they don't get kicked by a horse or run over. That's the lies that they wanted to spread. But Holman is the right man for the job. A brilliant pick by Trump. Obviously, Greg Abbott, I'm going to talk about him in a minute, but I want you to hear from Tom Homan here.
And I'm sending a message for the people that said they're going to get in our way. They're going to stop us from doing what we're doing in an interior enforcement operation. I've said it 100 times in the last week. Don't cross that line. This is a felony to knowingly harbor and conceal illegal aliens from immigration authorities. Don't test us. The nation wants a safe country. We've had enough crime in this country, illegal alien crime. It's time to end it and stop it. President Trump's committed to it. He's committed to securing this border. He's committed to having this mass deportation operation and concentrating on public safety threats and national security threats. For any mayor or governor who's going to push back on removing public safety threats from your community, that is your number one responsibility. You ought to be teaming up with us. We have created the biggest national security vulnerability in this nation on the southern border. For like I said, 2 million known gotaways. We don't know how many unknown gotaways. Already a record number of people on terrorist watch list. If you don't think a single one of the 2 million came from a country sponsoring terror and didn't come to do us harm, then you're an idiot. Everybody ought to be on the same page. Republican, Democrat, Independent. This is a huge national security vulnerability, and everybody ought to be concerned with it.
97 different countries this year alone, in the past, I think it was the past 3 months, have come across our borders, either Canada or Mexico. 97 different countries. So when the left goes, this is against brown people, this is a lie. This is against illegal people coming across and really violating the sovereignty of this country. It's an invasion. No other country allows this. No other country would allow this unless they're crazy and they want to be overrun and all the resources of those areas be overrun. It's stupid. Laken Riley is a tragic example of something that should never have happened. A criminal should never have been let into this country. And the administration allowed this to happen because they wanted it to happen. For power, not to protect Americans. Anybody can call me. I have plenty of Democrat friends out there that we disagree on a lot of things, and we can have conversation. And if you think I'm misinformed about this fact that I'm about to give you, then tell me. How does allowing people who don't belong in this country, giving them free housing, free flights, free food, and a $900 gift card and a free phone, how does that help the American people? And don't call me and be like, well, we need somebody to pick strawberries, you racists. Oh, we need somebody to mow our lawns. You're disgusting. And you're racist if you say things like that, by the way. Nobody else wants to do those jobs. Oh, there's lots of Americans that aren't working people. And they could do those jobs. Instead of living off of me and every other taxpayer. It's a perfectly good job. I would do anything to be on a farm picking strawberries every day, to have a house to live on and not worry. What a nice, beautiful life that would be to raise my family on a farm like that. And Greg Abbott, he cannot be overlooked for what he's done. Governor Abbott has been the key to this border issue, and probably one of the good reasons why Donald Trump won. Greg Abbott was the first one to fight Biden and Harris and their unconstitutional policies when it came to the border. He made them put their money where their mouths are. When Biden came and tried to do things, he said, nope, state right, bye. Sued him and won because it was unconstitutional what they were trying to do. When he looked and said, hey, hold on. You're not leaving all these people to be the burden of Texas. We will be unburdened by what has been. Here you go. They are on a bus to New York, to Vice President Kamala Harris's house. Open your mouth and open your doors and let them through your fence. He put them in every sanctuary city, and then others followed. Ron DeSantis said, yep, great idea. I'm going to send them to Martha's Vineyard. And what did the Democratic voters in those areas do? Whoa, not in my backyard. NIMBY, get them out. No, don't look at that sign that says we love all. We open our doors to everyone. No. We didn't really mean it. We never thought it would come here. We were saying the people in Texas should. That we stand by that. Except we don't. Ship them out. Because of that, New York got overrun, and Mayor Adams, a Democrat, said, whoa, enough's enough. We can't afford this. Greg Abbott did that. He's a great governor in the state of Texas. He forced liberals to show their hypocrisy and their true feelings and racism when it came to people coming across the border. Because if you don't think those Democrats are racist, then you're wrong, right? They don't want them in their neighborhood. Why? You don't know anything about them. You don't know their background. You don't even know their name. Why are you all of a sudden judging? You don't want them in your neighborhood because it'll lead to crime and rape and all that. Because it does? Again, this isn't about brown people or anybody else. This is about criminals coming across our border. Good for Tom Homan. He's a great pick by Donald Trump, and I love it. I love it. I love every minute of it. All right. We're going to take a break. Our popcorn's almost ready. That'll be coming up at the bottom of the hour. I promise you. I know all of you have been waiting to find out how great this is. And coming up, we're going to talk about Donald Trump and another great policy and another great idea, but we got to be really careful with this one. I'll tell you what it is coming up on the Morning Extra. 404-741-1230. Follow us on YouTube. Like and subscribe to our channel. We need to get more and more people involved in this. And coming up also later, we got Democrats scrambling to replace Nikema Williams. That's coming up on Peach State Politics.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Tug, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
If I had a wish for you, I would wish that you had a friend like Bernie Marcus, the founder of Home Depot, who passed away. What he did for Atlanta and Georgia is unmeasurable. A great man. I'll miss him dearly. So will the entire state.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app. Hey, Georgia neighbors, it's time to expect more from your Medicare Advantage. Discover Sonder Health's custom plans tailored just for Georgians. Saunders offers unique benefits, including special plans for those living with chronic conditions. Some plans even come with grocery or gas benefits to support your overall well-being. Sonder Health makes it easy to get the coverage you need. See for yourself what today's Medicare Advantage can do for you. Visit SonderHealthPlans.com, a healthier state of life. Sonder Health Plans is an HMO and PPO with Medicare contracts. Enrollment in Sonder Health Plans depends on contract renewal.
Have you thought about securing your hard-earned assets? Do you have concerns about the future? Protecting assets is crucial, and that's where Nelson Elder Care Law excels. As a family-owned and family-focused firm, we provide absolute assurance and peace of mind through our trademarked Absolute Protection Trust, tailored services in estate planning, probate administration, Medicaid crisis solutions, guardianship, and conservatorship. Our goal is to exceed your expectations and empower informed decisions. Visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com for asset protection and peace of mind.
Hey Roswell, looking for the perfect bite this football season? Head on over to Nucky's Hoagie's Roswell Corners, where every sandwich is crafted with love by us.
The Sub Sisters,
Stacy
and Shannon. Whether you're looking to cater a football tailgate party or grabbing lunch to go or dining in, we've got delicious Nucky's menu items for you. When you bite into a Nucky's Hoagie, you'll taste the difference. The softest hoagie rolls ever, with the freshest ingredients that'll make your taste buds dance.
Make Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell Corners on Woodstock Road your new favorite sandwich spot.
Rhino here for my elves at True Prep. Black Friday is here, and it's your chance to snag deals at one of the most unique stores in Atlanta, True Prep. Find the perfect gift that shows care and thought, not just another tie or gift card from a big box store. The savings are huge, but they won't last long. For details, visit us on Cobb Parkway in Marietta or online at trueprep.com. That's TRU prep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow at True Prep.
Securing America.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott and incoming Trump border czar Tom Homan visited Texas National Guard troops along the southern border Tuesday. Governor Abbott telling the troops why their efforts are so important.
For Texas and for our country to remain sovereign, free, and safe.
Homan says Texas's efforts are a model to protect against the effects of the illegal migrant surge over the last several years.
600% increase in sex trafficking. Fentanyl coming across the border to kill 250,000 Americans. Record number of people on terrorist watch list crossing the border.
And he warned that President Trump's plans will be carried out, regardless of those who may oppose them.
Let me be clear. There is going to be a mass deportation because we just finished a mass illegal immigration crisis on the border.
Holman saying the bottom line is,
the nation wants a safe country.
Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
The Dean's List with Janice Dean.
A daughter from Florida who found her long-lost father after 2 decades apart makes the Dean's List. Melissa hadn't seen her dad, David, or even knew about where he lived since she was a baby. When a doctor called her home and said her father was very sick and nearing death, she booked her flight from Florida to Nevada to see him despite their estrangement. As it turns out, her dad was in a severe car accident when she was little, and that crash left David with severe mental and physical disabilities. He's been in state care ever since, moving from different facilities for decades without contact. David had stopped eating, and that's when Melissa was called. It all changed when Melissa arrived to see her father. He knew who she was, and it gave him something to live for. Since then, Melissa has been by his side, helping him survive. She has now brought her dad to Florida, where he will live his remaining days with her. A reminder, it's never too late to reunite with family. Janice Dean, Fox News.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines. Presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your top stories in the state of Georgia for today, Wednesday, November 27th. 167 days, more than 170 witnesses, and after a full calendar year, jurors finally sat for deliberation in the YSL gang and racketeering trial. The jury deliberated for nearly 3 hours yesterday, trying to decide the fate of the last 2 defendants, Shannon Stillwell and DeMonte Kendrick. 4 other defendants have already taken plea deals after pleading guilty to some charges for lesser sentences, including rapper Young thug. The jury is set to continue deliberations this morning. If they do not return with a verdict, Judge Whitaker will dismiss them for the holiday with plans to reconvene on Monday. The body of a 31-year-old TikTok creator, Giari Schneider, was found inside a car he had borrowed from a friend. Schneider disappeared after a night out at a local club on November 15th and never returned. The wooded area where he was found was near a content house Schneider used to collaborate and create ideas for his social media platforms. His family fears that the 31-year-old could have been a victim of foul play. Clayton County police are continuing to investigate Schneider's death. And in sports, the Georgia Bulldogs have jumped back to number 7 in the nation in the college football playoff rankings. The Bulldogs need a convincing win against rival Georgia Tech this weekend to maintain the ranking. They must also win the SEC championship game on December 7th against the winner of the Texas and Texas A&M matchup. With your headlines, Scott Rhino, Extra 106.3. The Morning Extra, Tug, Rhino, and Los. Tug and Los all for the holiday. I'm about to be. Not long now. I hope many of you are enjoying your day today or are off from work. I know a lot of you are out there working. So I hope that you're at least having an easy day. Around here, there's nobody here. Everybody's gone. I mean, this place is empty. They smell my popcorn, though. The whole place smells like popcorn now. People are starting to get upset. They want my popcorn. They're never going to find it. You know why? I hid it in the freezer. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, we had a TikTok trend that we're going to try today because I love popcorn. It's my favorite treat in the entire world. And a TikToker said, hey, I heard about this, that you can freeze popcorn and it makes it better. It makes it taste better. Everything's better about the popcorn. So I said, me and Joe have to try this, and we're going to drive everybody nuts by going ahead and popping popcorn. We didn't burn it, by the way, and have that smell throughout the entire radio station. And, well, that's what's happening right now.
Have you ever tried any other TikTok food trends?
I have not.
There's a whole bunch. They literally make like, you know how on Uber Eats, they'll have restaurants make different food and sell it as its own place?
Yeah.
They do that with like TikTok creator meals.
Okay. Well, you know, I think that's good for kids,
with
too.
like food trends.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't trust the whole idea behind TikTok. So I would like to see a U.S. company buy that, get rid of the Chinese influence, or at least put some restrictions that we know that it's safe for our kids to be on, because that's really scary to me. So I hope we do that, because that is a good way to get kids involved. You know, part of the thing that Liam and I do together is cook. He wants to be a chef like his father and wants to continue to cook and learn more about it. He's starting to take some of those classes, culinary classes in school, and it's very exciting for him. And it gives us something on the weekends when, you know, we don't have anything to do and he's not wanting to go, you know, do his black belt studying and all that. Like, let's cook.
It's such an important skill. That's how I learned it, was all from TikTok.
Really?
Yeah. All from TikTok and like YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Because I never wanted to cook as a kid, but now I know how to make my own meals. I know how to make healthy meals.
There you go.
It's an important skill.
It's a very important skill. Make sure you feed yourselves. All right, let's talk about some things that are going on in this country right now. We just talked about the border, which is very important. We're going to talk a little bit more about the tariffs and the border and how that works with the Mexican reaction. We'll tell you how much of a joke that was from Mexico and their idea and their reaction. But I'll tell you, the left is losing their mind. They're trying to spread lies. Well, now you're going to have to pay $40 and pour a bottle for tequila. No, you won't. And I'll tell you why. Oh, but what about lumber? It's going to cost more. No, it won't. And I'll tell you why. That's coming up at 9 o'clock. So pay attention for that as well. We're going to stop wasting money. And there's one person that I trust to do that. I love right now Doge. That's the Department of Government Efficiency. Run by Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, two people who understand that when you need to make money, there are cuts that you can do that will benefit everyone. And the greatest part about this and the entire Trump administration right now, we're saving money, and he has not even been to his inauguration yet. People from the federal workforce are quitting because they're being forced. I don't want to have to go back to a building that all the taxpayers paid billions of dollars for. I want to work from my house because no one keeps up with me, and I do the same job as everybody else over here. None of us do anything. We just message back and forth all day. Yep, I like it. Because these people have realized this is the way in. Get a job you don't actually have to be responsible for. You're never going to get fired because you know Democrats will never fire anybody, even when they do the worst job possible. Heck, we had Kamala Harris as a border czar, and our border's a disaster. She destroyed this country. No one fired her. Oh, wait. Trump did. And so did all the voters. So now we have to listen and see, because I love what he's doing. And Trump talked about right now, because here goes Joe Biden again, because everything they need to do is all about one thing: spending taxpayer money for no good reasons. Now, I know that a lot of people will sit back and say, that student debt relief, that's good. That's for everyone. No, it's not. It's not for me. Why do I need to pay your debt? I ain't doing it. It's not good for everyone. Well, they'll do it the same way I did. I don't care about, oh, your kids need help. These kids need help. Blah, blah, blah. The reality is this. We're not paying your debt. You should have taken care of it yourself. Joe Biden can try and can continue to try these initiatives and offering these paths to giving complete forgiveness. It ain't going to happen. It's unconstitutional. Not one of us should be paying somebody else's bills. All because they knew, I'm not going to pay them back. Every person who goes into school understands when you take that loan, you sign the paperwork, what it's about. I'm sorry you didn't think it through. I'm sorry that you weren't strong enough to work. I worked 3 jobs while going to school. I have 0 debt. I'm better than you then, if you're upset about that. Sorry. I know that some people think that they get anything they want because that's the way we've seen children being raised today. I hope that we're not raising our kids that way. Work hard, get what you want, come up with a plan. Most of these kids should never go to college. They should be going to vocational schools. They should be learning things and trades that actually matter. Be a plumber. Be a welder. You like cars? Find a school that helps you learn to fix cars. You want to build rockets? There's a vocational school for it. You want to learn how to be a social media content creator? Guess what? There are schools for it. It doesn't matter that you want to go to the best school because it's cool and I'll get a great job somewhere where I could get my wheatgrass shake and not really work. Or maybe I could just go work for the government. No. Enough. You want a free education, go into the Army and fight for this country and put your life on the line like so many brave men and women do. They found a way. I'll forgive their debts before I would anybody else's. I would definitely pay my taxes into the military for that rather than weapons being sent to Israel, Ukraine, or anywhere else in the world to start a war. Now, this is going to be a really hard thing for Donald Trump to get done. Except it's not, if we do it correctly. Now, first of all, you've already had Eric Schmidt, Andrew Bailey, both out of Missouri. They've been on top of this for quite some time. Eric Schmidt went on to be a senator, so he's still in power where he can continue to fight this. But they put great class action suits along with Chris Carr here in Georgia and other great AGs, Ashley Moody, all of them had joined to say, we're not paying other people's debt. It's unfair to the taxpayers to have to pay for someone who went to college and we had to pay $50,000 for because they wanted to take a class on a man can be a woman. Sorry. It's stupid. It's unlawful. It's counterproductive. And it's deeply, deeply unfair to people who never ever asked for $1 back after putting themselves through college. You're not getting that money, and these lawyers, Trump doesn't need to do a thing. Let them continue to take these court cases to federal judges. Because even Democrat federal judges could not work for Biden in this manner. They blocked his second attempt at a mass debt cancellation. The Supreme Court rejected his first plan last year. I know. Here, Democrats. The Supreme Court is a MAGA extremist group. No, they follow the Constitution. I know that you think the Constitution is extremist, but it's not. They knew that you cannot just do what you want to do when it's against the Constitution and making other people pay other people's debts. And I think continue that way. Now, there are other things that we can do because the biggest problem are the predators at the federal level that use these programs to get these kids into trouble in the first place. So the first thing we need to do is look at the Department of Education and the way that they continually do this and the unfair lending practices and fix those. And you have good business leaders that can fix that. Now, Biden did give a good repayment program. Got it through. I shouldn't say good. It wasn't good. It's called the SAVE plan. Now, there are parts of it that I kind of go, okay, now how do we rework this and make this? Because this is an expensive program we shouldn't be paying for. And it's a backdoor route in order to get this mass loan forgiveness, because as Democrats do, they throw pork into every single bill. So in this bill, there are good things like, hey, it caps the monthly payment plans at 5% of your income for undergraduate borrowers. Okay? And better interest subsidies. Okay. Let's talk about the interest payments. If we are lending them the money, should there be interest, and what should that rate be? Well, unfortunately, Biden and Harris have made the interest rate to almost impossible to deal with. So, of course, it's going to hurt everybody, but that just helps them. More money in their pockets as they steal from the taxpayers. I agree with some better interest rates and subsidies that would help some of these kids. I agree with the 5% of the income. Now, here's where they snuck in the other part. Well, 10 years of repayment, some borrowers that have done their job and paid most of it or made their payments on time, we should just forgive their loan. No, we shouldn't. That's that backdoor route to that mass loan forgiveness. We're not going to allow that. We also need to help some of these kids, though, because it's not the kids' fault that they've been preyed upon by the government. See, the government tells you, hey, just trust us. We got you. We're going to take good care of you. And now they're stuck in these ridiculous payments, and it's been frozen. So any of the things from the SAVE Act, like, hey, let's cap it, let's lower those interest rates, all that's on hold because everything else they did was unconstitutional. Biden-Harris. So now what I need Trump to do is come in with a idea. You know, when you talk about no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, good ideas. Make them happen. Let's look at the interest rates on these loans for these kids. Let's figure out what we can do to cap them and make sure kids can afford to pay back the loans that they're taking out. But at the same time, let's start educating our kids on these loans. Let's stop giving them legal mumbo jumbo throughout every single one of these contracts because these kids aren't going to read them. They barely know how to read. Ever since the Department of Education has taken over and destroyed this country, we went from number 1 in the world in education to number 24, and it keeps getting worse because of Democrat ideas. We need to fix this. But again, this isn't something Trump and Republicans can do on Jan 21st, Jan 22nd, or even Jan 22nd, 2026. This is going to take years of fixing this government bureaucracy and making it more business-like. We need to recalculate millions of borrowers' payments. That could take months alone. We need to figure out how can we get these interest rates down? Who can we partner with? What can we do to privatize this maybe a little bit and give better rates for students who are doing their jobs and getting good grades? A lot of great states do things like Hope scholarships, or at least Georgia does. How can we make things work using other outlets? It's not going to be for Biden. They don't want to think. Vice President Kamala Harris is a moron. She's not the smartest person in the world. She doesn't know business and doesn't know how to do this, and neither does Biden. Biden doesn't even know where his underwear is right now. We need big boys in charge, and they are. And I think we'll get this fixed. But do it right and protect both. Protect the taxpayer and protect our kids. All right, coming up, we're going to try the popcorn. I hope you guys are excited. Join us right here. It's the Morning Extra. Tug, Rhino, and Los, the 8 o'clock hour, brought to you by Central Heating and Air, one of the few second-generation locally owned and operated HVAC companies in Atlanta. These guys have been doing it forever. They know better than anybody else, and at this time of year, you better get it checked. With Central, you're not just a number. They actually treat you like a member of the family. Go visit them. Central Heating and Air.
Hey, it's Tug. The Morning Extra has you covered from 6 to 10, and Kimmer's got you on the ride home.
You don't have to be compassionate to scumbags. I mean, you can treat people decently as human beings, but you don't have to make them easier to commit their crimes. I mean, that's not it. Is that it? I don't think when you say Jesus turned the other cheek, it's not so he can murder somebody else without noticing. I mean, my God.
He also took a whip to some people.
Yeah, he did the whole thing with the tower and the money. I mean, he was pretty angry there once in a while. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't all diseases and caveman stuff, God. Of course, we're experts in this, we're ordained ministers.
We're ministers.
Well, ordained ministers, I'm telling you.
One of us has read more than the other one, it seems.
Well, the guy in the cave with the disease and the dirty clothes, and Jesus got him out of there. I mean, come on, you know the story.
He was dead.
Parable.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
What's up, Atlanta? It's Ben Burnett, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show. Each and every weekend, right here on Extra 106.3, we unpack all the week's events. We talk about all the issues with a local Atlanta-based flavor. You can catch me each and every weekend, Saturdays at 2 and Sundays at noon. If you ever miss an episode, you can go to the podcast park or wherever you download all of your content, and I'll be right there. Thanks for listening to the Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Butler Snow.
Southwire Company, LLC, has openings for the position of technical analyst located in Atlanta, Georgia. Job duties for the position include working remotely with team members and with customers and providing routine support for all business intelligence modules in the company's suite of business intelligence applications. This is a full-time position. Multiple positions available. Position based in Atlanta, Georgia. Telecommuting from anywhere in the U.S. permitted, but must be willing to work in Atlanta, Georgia office periodically as required by employer for in-person meetings. Apply with resume to careers@southwire.com and reference job ID 7315412.
Make holiday magic this year with something beautiful and timeless from Diamonds Direct. A stunning eternity band, a pair of classic diamond stud earrings, something new and eye-catching from a world-class designer, or maybe you're looking for that perfect engagement ring or a fabulous timepiece. At Diamonds Direct, we have the perfect gifts for this season, starting at around $500. Come and let our experts help you pick out that headliner gift, or for some fabulous ideas, see the online seasonal gift guide now at diamondsdirect.com. You can even chat now with a virtual assistant for the ultimate convenience. Whether you connect online or in person, you're guaranteed to get the extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and white glove service Diamonds Direct is known for. And to help make your purchase even more affordable, we've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion.
I'm Chad Bergram with the Speaker's Lobby. House Republicans have agreed to alter the chamber's rules that would make it tougher to oust the Speaker. Currently, it only takes one member to demand a vote that the House try to remove the Speaker. That's how former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy lost his job last year. Some Republicans have threatened the current Speaker, Mike Johnson, with the same fate. The deal struck between members of the Hardline Freedom Caucus and the more centrist Republican Main Street Caucus would raise the bar for members to offer a motion to vacate the Speaker's chair. It would now be 9 members and not 1. It was former Representative Matt Gaetz who singularly forced the House to vote to strip McCarthy of his gavel. During the prior years of Democratic control, the requirement was for the majority of either party to back such a motion. For his part, House Speaker Mike Johnson appears to be safe from a challenge, assuming the new rule is adopted. The full House doesn't vote on its rules package and this change until early in the new year. With the Speaker's Lobby, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
Extra 106.3 is proud to continue on as the conservative voice of Atlanta.
We're going to fix our borders. We're going to fix everything about our country.
The Morning Extra, The Kimmer Show, Neil Bortz, local and national decision makers are all keeping it straight on the road toward the new Trump administration. This is Extra 106.3 FM and streaming across Georgia on the Extra 106.3 app.
I like what you did here, Joe. The Morning Extra, Tug, Rhino, and Los. Tug and Los out. Joe is here with me. That's it. Just us two. We're having a good time today. It's the last day before we go on vacation as well, and I hope many of you are at least getting to relax. Tomorrow, my day includes drinking.
Check.
Drinking.
Check.
Then watching the parade while drinking.
Check.
Then watching the dog show for a little bit.
You're a dog show guy.
I am. I love dog shows. I love dogs. I don't like the fact, I think the people are crazy, so I kind of laugh at them, but I do like the dogs. So I like to watch them, just be dogs. And I don't know, it's kind of fun.
It is kind of fun.
Even though
we have it on the TV.
They're uptight dogs, though. You know?
Yeah, they're frou-frou.
Yeah. I don't, some of those dogs. I like just a dog that's just like, hey, I want to love you forever, like my dogs do.
I want a sloppy, old, crusty dog. I don't need one of those.
I love my DOG. He is so big and furry.
Those dogs are the elites.
I sweep dog hair every day. Well, I don't. Girlfriend Erin will start yelling at me. You don't do it every day. I don't. She does. We got a rubber broom. We have to get all the hair up. And every day you get a pile that's about the size of another dog because 4 dogs running around, it's such a complete mess. But I do like the dog show. Then it's football. So I'll pretty much be drunk all day. Pretty much.
You forgot about eating in there.
Oh, yeah. I'll do that sometime.
Who's cooking?
So we're doing a Friendsgiving on Saturday. So Thursday is just... whatever. I'll probably eat pizza or something. I don't know. Whatever my drunk
pizza, Chinese food.
Something that I probably don't have to go out with because I'll be too drunk throughout the day. I don't know. But we saw this TikTok thing, and we've been talking about this morning, frozen popcorn. And so we decided, and I'm going to let you hear how this all started. I'm not on TikTok. I actually probably found it through another website somewhere else that I saw it, and I was like, ooh, popcorn, that's my favorite treat. And if something can make popcorn better, I'm willing to try it. So I want you to listen to this guy. He's a creator out of Kentucky. You'll never be able to tell by the way he talks. He sounds like, yep, Kentucky. But this has become viral. His name is Dustin Hadley. He's a content creator out on YouTube at that 40-year guy. And he said his mind was blown after trying popcorn in this manner. Listen to him.
Telling me for 40 years I should have been putting it in the freezer first?
Apparently popcorn tastes better from the freezer.
I'll be honest with you, I have never in my life heard of anything like this before. Popping popcorn, freezing it, and then eating it. Apparently you're supposed to be able to taste the salt better, plus no kernels in your teeth. Got some popcorn, here we go. All right, it's done. Into the freezer. We'll be back in an hour or so to see if this is insane or very good. All right, here we go. Frozen popcorn. That is so good. It is. You can really taste the salt.
All right.
I'm going to be honest with you. Y'all gonna
all right, pull him down. I'm done with you, Dustin. All right, so I went out in what we call the bullpen here between 680 and Extra 106.3. We have a bullpen. It's like a break room. And I went over to the microwave. I threw the popcorn in, made sure I didn't burn it. So there were a lot of extra kernels, which happened to be in your bag because I'm selfish like that. And I popped it. The whole place smells like it, and froze it for 1 hour. We did this at 7:40. It's now 8:40.
We followed the instructions.
I'm ready to try it.
Me too.
So you're going to hear us literally chew popcorn.
Munching and crunching.
And I put salt on it, Joe. So let me know. All right. Okay. I do taste the salt throughout the entire popcorn better.
You think it's more salty?
I do. I didn't put a lot on it because we don't have a lot. It's pretty good, people.
It is more salty. It's much more
I wonder what people think. Is it nice listening to us chew, or is it driving you people crazy?
It kind of drives me insane.
I hate it.
I hate
it. I hate
You
listening
think
to people
chewing
chew.
makes good radio?
No, it's horrible. It's actually one of my... You know what? I'm going to be honest. It doesn't taste much different to me.
No.
Hold on.
It just tastes like cold
I got popcorn I didn't freeze.
Is there a difference?
Okay. Come
Really?
taste that. Yep.
It's that much different.
Turn off your mic. Come in here and grab that.
Okay.
While I talk. Okay. Yeah. It is way different. It is crunchier when it's frozen. It just has a little cold. Yeah. Try that popcorn first, Joe. You guys, this is a great way to go to Thanksgiving, and anybody who's a Democrat in your life that's being annoying, be like, you know what? I'm tired of this. Let's bond on something like popcorn. Isn't it?
Oh, my God.
There we go. There you go. All right. So the verdict is in. I think frozen popcorn is the way to go. You throw it in there for about an hour and let it freeze up.
It's way crunchier.
It is way crunchier. It's saltier. It's got a better salt.
It's less buttery.
Yeah, less buttery. Oh.
But I like the butter.
Oh, it's great. I'm going to keep eating this and drive you people crazy out there.
I'm going to keep eating it all show. We have so much popcorn. Just get ready for munching and crunching
like
for
popcorn monster.
Another hour.
They would kill me.
You need to try some other TikTok trends.
You know what?
There's really good ones.
This might have just changed my way.
You don't even have to download TikTok for them. You could just look up YouTube videos for TikTok food trends.
All right.
I made a lasagna soup one time.
Yeah.
Which my girlfriend hates why it's called a lasagna soup. She's just like, it's just a normal soup with lasagna noodles in it.
That's all it is.
And I beg to differ. I think the
Maybe
lasagna noodles, like broken up lasagna noodles, but it was delicious. It was creamy. It had the Italian flavors. It was like lasagna, but in soup form.
I have a lot of cool hacks. Maybe I should start a TikTok channel. Because what I do is, my brother and I have done this for years. We remake everything we buy. So let's say we're like, hey, I want to go get an Egg McMuffin. We bring the Egg McMuffin back to our restaurant. We take it apart. We add different cheeses, spices, different things all the time. Sometimes I make a ricotta cheese base that I put on it to make it melt nicely.
Ooh.
This might be, maybe that's my TikTok channel, remaking food.
I'm going to disappoint you here.
What? Someone already does that?
There's somebody that already does that.
Wow, man, they stole
His
my
whole
idea.
channel is, he goes to his friends that are chefs and he goes, hey, I just bought orange chicken and lo mein at Panda Express. Can you make it into a gourmet meal?
Oh, man. Well, I'm going to do it myself.
And they do it, and it's really cool.
Well, I got other
And it
ideas
looks
that they've
delicious.
never done, so I'll try those.
Good.
All right, so TikTok winner there. That's the first time I've ever seen a win like that. Real excited about the popcorn. This is the way I'm going to be doing it from now on. I don't know what else to do with this popcorn except for eat it, but I'm not going to do it in your ears the whole day. I was just playing around, guys. So when we get back, we're going to talk. We're going to get back to some of the important things that we need to talk about, especially when it comes to tariffs. I want to break apart some of the rumors that Democrats are starting to tell people, because those are ridiculous. The reactions from other countries. I'm going to tell you why they're reacting this way. They're already working with the president-elect because they are afraid of common sense ideas. And they're freaking out because they know he's right. They know 100% he's right. And I'll tell you why their reactions are wrong. That's coming up right here on the Morning Extra.
Time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
When it comes to what to get rid of at the federal level, I vote for the Department of Education. It's a total, absolute failure. Over 40 years, The DOE has shown itself to be useless when it comes to educating our children. The achievement gap between students at the highest and lowest ends of the economic scale has stayed the same for 50 years. Reading and math scores today, on the average, are at historic lows. $60 billion a year and more from the taxpayers, $200 billion during COVID, and absolutely nothing to show for it except stronger teachers' unions. Oh, and the Department of Education has been working very hard to change the definition of sex and gender. 3 years working with the Civil Rights Act to replace sex in the law with sexual orientation and gender identity. Yeah, that's what we formed the Department of Education for. Oh, and they've spent more millions of dollars trying to figure out whether they should allow boys to use girls' restrooms. Meanwhile, no improvement anywhere in the quality of education in this country. But take heart, maybe something's going to change. November the 21st, Senator Mike Rounds, a Republican, South Dakota, introduced Senate Bill 5384, a bill to abolish the Department of Education, designed to take education of our children out of the federal government and return it to the states, which would be a vast improvement. Senate Bill 5384. Let's watch it. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3 FM.
Atlanta Braves single game tickets for the 2025 season are now on sale. Get your tickets for some exciting matchups next season, like when the Phillies come to Truist Park during the opening homestand in April, followed by the Dodgers and Padres in May, the New York Yankees in July, and many more.
The lashes one into left field. Paddle drive in, 2 runs, 3-0 Braves.
And fans can also look forward to some fan favorite specialty ticket packages next season, including the brand new Hello Kitty ticket package in April, where fans will receive a Hello Kitty figure with a light-up bow, the Star Wars package that includes a Braves astromech figure, and the Military Appreciation package, which includes an Army Green t-shirt. Plus, you can go ahead and reserve your spot to play catch on the field for Father's Day. But hurry, it sells out fast. So give the gift of Braves baseball this holiday season, and don't miss out on a home schedule packed with star power. Visit Braves.com/packages to learn more and purchase today. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
Customer service seems like a lost art these days, but EMC Security is bringing it back. I was blown away with their service. They answer the phone quickly and truly want to help you, which is rare these days. My technician was friendly, answered all my questions, and got everything installed perfectly. I highly recommend EMC Security.
EMC Security, exceeding customer expectations since 1998. Call or visit emcsecurity.com for a free quote.
Daryl says if you want to confuse your doctor, put on rubber gloves the same time he does.
And all his good and pants off.
The Kimmer Show every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Fox on Tech.
Another social network runs afoul of the laws of Europe. A number of U.S. users of social media are finding their way to yet another Twitter clone social media service, all due to politics. It's called Blue Sky, and a number of users of X, the former Twitter, say they've done so in protest of Elon Musk's endorsement of Donald Trump, which they say helped the former president win back the White House. Blue Sky was founded by Twitter creator Jack Dorsey. He has since left this new company, but now the European Union, which has been cracking down on tech companies and social networks over a myriad of issues ranging from content moderation to creative licenses, says Blue Sky is violating its laws by not divulging on its network how many EU users it has or where the company is headquartered. But the EU's online regulations are designed for networks with 45 million users, a status Blue Sky has yet to achieve. With Fox on Tech, I'm Eben Brown, Fox News.
It's November 27th, and this is your Fox Daily Snapshot. Today is National Bavarian Cream Pie Day. The great French pastry chef Marie-Antoine Carême is the man responsible for the modern Bavarian cream pie. Carême is believed to have perfected the method of making Bavarian cream by adding gelatin to the sweet custard, which allows it to set more firmly. After that, add the cream to a pie crust and allow it to set. A treat that was once the domain of gourmet restaurants and five-star hotels, now everyone can enjoy a slice of Bavarian cream pie. Also on this date, in 1895, Swedish chemist Alfred Nobel establishes the Nobel Prize in his will. The first Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is held in New York City in 1924, and in 2017, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle announced their engagement. If it's your birthday today, you share it with martial artist and actor Bruce Lee, born in 1940, and filmmaker Catherine Bigelow, born in 1951. I'm Tushar Saxena, and that's your Fox Daily Snapshot.
Look out, it's a Kimber. We've got your afternoons covered, all right. And the Morning Extra's got your drive-in from 6 to 10 a.m., too.
I tell you, he could go down as iconic and as influential as Ronald Reagan. And it took a new Jimmy Carter and Joe Biden to foster the environment for that person to be relevant, for that person, Donald Trump, to be in a position to rise to power and have that sort of influence.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app. WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. The 9 a.m. hour is presented by Southern Exteriors. Quality and precision you can rely on.
He hopes Gaza is next. I'm Dave Anthony. Fox News. President Biden renewing the push to stop the war there on day one of the ceasefire now in effect between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon.
Now Hamas has a choice to make. Their only way out is to release the hostages.
Now, in the Hezbollah ceasefire deal, militants have to move farther away from Israel's border, and Fox's Jonathan Savage reports.
The Israel Defense Forces confirm they'll conduct a gradual withdrawal from southern Lebanon over the next 60 days. And IDF security officials told Fox News their campaign against Hezbollah has set the Iran-supported militia back years. The last few months have seen intense airstrikes and a limited ground invasion. Most of Hezbollah's leaders have been killed.
And now President-elect Trump has nominated somebody to work with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., his pick to lead the Department of Health and Human Services.
Stanford University physician and economist Jay Bhattacharya has been named as President-elect Donald Trump's pick to be director of the National Institutes of Health. Bhattacharya, a critic of the pandemic lockdowns and vaccine mandates, was one of three authors of the Great Barrington Declaration, which was an open letter published in October 2020 that said lockdowns were causing irreparable harm and promoted herd immunity. The nominations of both Bhattacharya and Kennedy have to be confirmed by the Senate.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. Trump is also bringing Kevin Hassett back to lead the National Economic Council. We just got an update showing a slight decline in new unemployment claims last week, but the number of people still collecting jobless benefits rose to a 3-year high. Later this morning, we'll get an update on inflation for last month. A lot of Americans are going somewhere for Thanksgiving in what's expected to be record travel. Most are driving, but airports are crowded too. This woman flying out of Dallas says it's all going to plan.
I've got the morning flight to Atlanta. The plane's already on the ground. So I feel pretty good about that.
There are only 23 flights canceled nationwide, though there are more than 500 delays. America's listening to Fox News.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Coffee, keys, and Extra 106.3. That's how I get to work and home.
Guns N' Roses, bring it on. This is one of my songs. This is one of the ones that I play air guitar to and lip sync up in Edenton, North Carolina, or used to for vinyl night. I miss our friend Melissa very much this time of year. It's a great song.
It's classic.
Great song. The Morning Extra, Tug, Rhino, and Los. It's the Rhino Takeover. I got my buddy Joe with me. We just did our popcorn challenge. We're kind of in between now. By the end of the bag, it kind of just tasted like the regular popcorn.
It's just normal.
Maybe didn't freeze it enough, so we'll have to see. But you know what? It did make it enjoyable for the first time. I will say the flavor was much better. It really did add to the flavor. So
it helped with the kernels as well.
Yeah, it really did. I don't have anything stuck in my teeth. That's crazy.
Me neither.
And I have no idea why they're there or the kernels are in there. Maybe they're just kind of, I don't know. It's crazy. It's good. I might play with it a little bit more. But we got more important things to talk about as well today. We talked a lot throughout the day about a lot of important things. Obviously, the popcorn. We also talked about Brian Kemp selling us out here in the state of Georgia. And even though it wasn't his fault, Joe Biden had to pick it up and give a loan, or is thinking about giving a loan, and hopefully it'll get blocked, $6.6 billion to Rivian to go ahead. And I didn't know this was going to be that much of a topic, but I started getting things from everyone. Our good buddy Keith, who travels around the country all the time, and I know he does because he's a truck driver. He's one of the heroes that gets all of our products to us no matter what. And what he did was he said, Rivian's making cars. There are plenty of them on the road. And Amazon trucks. He's right on the Amazon. There's a bunch of those out there from Rivian. That's cool. But everybody else is saying, I drive all day, every day, and I've only seen two probably since they started. I've seen at least three in probably about 3 years since they've started. And this money thing is becoming a problem. We need to be building cars here. Yes, I understand. But giving them money to do it, let businesses fail on their own. Rivian stock went from like $100 a share to like $11. You can go buy Rivian stock right now for $11. Maybe it's a good deal. I doubt it. They already had to be bailed out. They haven't even produced anything. They have not even gotten to the R2 and R3 that they said they're going to produce here in Georgia. They haven't built any of them yet. So it'll be interesting to see how that turns out, but we got sold out by Brian Kemp. We're going to talk about that coming up, too, and a little bit more about that, and I'll tell you more details on that. But I do want to talk about tariffs, because this is a big thing that Democrats are going to start spreading lies about. You're already hearing it. You're going to pay $5 for an avocado. One avocado is going to go. I used to buy 2 for $5, but they're made in Mexico. It's ridiculous. You know who makes the best avocados? Seriously. California. God, I love California avocados. They're so good. And the farmers in California, they make great. Why not buy from them? See, that's the whole thing about, you can allow Mexico and allow the Democrats to throw out their racist lies, because Democrats are so racist. They say they're not, but they are. They're the ones who tell you, well, if you close the border, knowing that it's not just brown people like they like to call them, or they make up other names, Latinx, that is so offensive that even the Hispanic community goes, don't call us that. These are white people telling them what they should call them. And then they say, well, who's going to pick your strawberries and your avocados if we don't allow them to come across the border? There's over 100 countries that come across this border. And a lot of them are very dangerous people. So stop with that lie. And stop demeaning those people, because that's a perfectly great job regardless. I'd do it in a heartbeat. But to say that's all they are, you're the disgusting people. Who's going to pick your fruit and vegetables? Who's going to work in your kitchen and do your dishes? God, you Democrats are horrible. But I'm going to tell you who will. American farmers. Right now, people living off the government saying they can't get a job. I've been looking. I got 6 kids and I'm trying to make it happen, but I've been looking for a job. Well, what's your education? I dropped out of high school in 12th grade when I got pregnant. Okay, what about, what are you doing now? Well, I just can't find a management position I'd be good for. Okay, well, what about, look, there's a farm down here and they need people and need help, work the farm. Oh, that's below me. Yep, no, start putting those people back to work. Stop giving them checks. How about that? There's plenty of jobs out there for Americans to do that. We can grow things here. And here's the fun part about Mexico. We already know their major import here, fentanyl, China. Why do you think the restrictions are there? So if you don't want the stop of fentanyl, or if you don't want tariffs, here's what Donald Trump has said. 25% tariff for people who are not going to protect their border or do their job because we have to spend that much more money to protect against their citizens breaking our laws. Okay? So you're not saving any money, by the way. It's just going somewhere else. Because the more that Mexico and Canada refuse to secure their border and our border at the same time, our borders together, we spend that money. All that money for your extra, what if I have to pay $40 more for a Don Julio bottle of tequila? Let me tell you 2 things. Number 1, you're already spending more money. You just don't know where it's going. It's going to stop those people from coming across anyway. Number 2, there are so many great tequila companies here in the United States, Buy American, and they're so much better. You like the Don Julio? Cool. Guess what? They can move their plant here and benefit and get around it and put more people to work. If Mexico doesn't like it, guess what? Because here's what happened. Oh, boy, did she come out right away. Oh, was she upset. And I'm talking about the president over there in Mexico. Oh, my God. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to hit you back. I'm going to hit you back. Yeah, you're going to do that to me. Claudia Sheinbaum says that her government's going to retaliate. Oh, yeah, you're going to throw a 25% tariff on our country? Well, I'm going to tell you about our economic consequences. We're going to make sure that we don't send you things. In fact, we're going to go ahead and put more tariffs on our main exporters to the United States. We're going to be, she says, for every tariff, there will be a response in kind. And here's what we're going to do. Our main exporters to the United States are General Motors, Stellantis, and Ford. Wait, I'm sorry. American companies, huh? Well, imagine that. Imagine you had a leader, a business leader. Imagine you had 3 business leaders with brains, like Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, and Donald Trump. And they say, I'll tell you what. Let them try that. Hey, GM, remember when we had to bail you out? Well, what if we told you we're going to go ahead and drop the corporate rate from what the Democrats want to throw out there, which is an absolutely ridiculous number. Let's drop that rate. Let's create more jobs. And I'll tell you what, we'll save money by giving you tax incentives to build your plant and put Americans to work here at General Motors America. Stellantis. Hey, how you doing? You want to benefit from those taxes? Those rebates for your electric vehicles? How about you, Ford? How about you, GM? You want those incentives? Move them across the border. We'll give you a lower rate. You don't have to pay any kind of tariffs. We'll give you better incentives. Create jobs, lower prices. That's the way this world works. That's why a fair tax would be great, by the way, for all this. Because then you just pay tax on what you consume. And because of that, even corporations benefit because every product that they have to buy from another corporation, those taxes are gone. So it lowers the prices and more money goes back to the employees and more money goes back into, the country. There's a reason Kamala Harris lost and Democrats lost. They are economically dumb, stupid. They care more about power. They don't care about illegals coming across. They don't care about Laken Riley, or as the president called her, Lincoln. They don't really care. Let Mexico play this game. Now, those are American companies. But you may be asking, well, that's not just what about what they're going to try to do over there to our friends north of us, north of the border? Justin Trudeau, that ridiculous socialist leader who's locking up his own people for talking against some of the ridiculous things they've done in the bureaucracy of their government. Yeah. Well, they sell us so much lumber, and I'm in the business of lumber. Okay, I was in the business of lumber for, my entire life. My father owned a lumberyard. I used to run around the lumberyard with a forklift picking up lumber just for fun. My dad would let me ride around all the day in the lumber. I know everything about lumber. You can't fool me. I know every profile of casing, every profile of molding, who makes it. Canfor, one of the biggest manufacturers of North American softwood lumbers. They're from Canada. I got it. But they're third place in bringing stuff to us. See, they get the benefit of being able to make things outside of this country and get them in here cheaper than it is for West Fraser, Weyerhaeuser, Sierra Pacific, Georgia Pacific, Idaho Forest Group, all those huge lumber producing companies here in this country. They pay a lot more to send their stuff to Canada than Canada sends Canfor here. Now, the fun thing about Canada's export products is Canfor actually has plenty of places here in the United States of America. There you go. So, no, your products aren't going to go up $40 because, there's tariffs on them. No, what we're going to do is we're going to lower prices by allowing American producers to make this so that their sales go up, so that they're able to cut costs for the American people. Rob is on the phone here, 404-741-1230. You can join me here as well. Rob, good morning, and I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. Happy Thanksgiving, sir.
You too, man. It's just, you start talking about wood business, and oh my gosh. From the time I was a kid, wood was money. I mean, timber, and we'd get it off construction jobs and cut it off tracks. And in the last 15 years, I'd say 2/3 to 3/4 of the mills are closed and gone. Now the lumber is coming in from Canada and
China.
A lot of it's coming in Sweden, and it just doesn't make sense. And the wood, like nowadays, it's going off these construction sites where it used to be money, carry it to South Georgia, to Georgia Pacific, and all these mills, they're all gone. And they're going to the dump with it nowadays. It's pitiful. I mean, pitiful. It's just not right.
It's not right. Thank you, Rob, for the call. Rob's exactly right. And here's why. Not only is he talking about all the lumber mills that are closing here, the Weyerhaeusers, all of them, Sierra Pacific, Georgia Pacific, Louisiana Pacific. And I'm going to use Louisiana Pacific for a good example because they make your OSB board, which is in most of your roofings. It's a sheathing that most builders use if you don't know. And at one point, it was like $9 a sheet when I was using it and bringing it around. Now it's like $21. And part of that reason is, we have ridiculous oversight and restrictions on how we make our products. So because of the Biden-Harris and their BS climate agenda that, they had a $1.9 trillion climate bill, and it keeps getting worse. So they obviously don't know what they're doing. They've been getting $300 billion a year, $100 billion a year for the past 20 years, and it keeps getting worse somehow. And this is what makes our lumber more expensive, because we have to deal with all these ridiculous regulations, number one. Number two, China is like, hey, you know what? We'll make lumber cheap. We got the land, we'll grow it, and you're not charging us to send it to America? So West Fraser, Weyerhaeuser, Sierra Pacific, Georgia Pacific, LP, Idaho Forest Group, all those huge lumber producers, they're losing money because it costs more to send it here? That's the problem. That's the problem there. Jeff from Canada. All right, cool. Jeff, welcome to the Morning Extra.
How you doing, guys?
Good, how are you?
You're by yourself today. That's how do they get so many vacations, these guys?
See, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's fair, man.
Oh, I'll come co-host next time for you.
I'd love it, Jeff. You can come down from Canada. Now, where in Canada are you?
I'm in Brockville. I'm a border town.
Yeah.
Like, I look out my window and I see the United States.
Nice.
And it's ridiculous up here. We're all fed up.
What is the big problem up there right now? I mean, obviously, Justin Trudeau is a huge problem with their socialist ideas and what they're trying to do. What's the biggest concern right there in Canada right now with you guys?
Oh, just surviving. We're taxed. Like, you guys worried about taxes down there.
Yeah.
Like, we're taxed on everything. Like, you know, the only thing that I find cheaper up here than, because we cross the border all the time, is the price of food up here. It's still expensive. But we cross the border and go to the grocery store across the border, and you guys are paying the same price or more in U.S. dollars.
Ah, I gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, that's a huge problem. The pricing up there right now and in Canada, and, you know, obviously, you know, you get health care, and that's supposed to be great, but you know better than that. I mean, it's fine if you break your arm or do something like that, but God forbid you get something terminal like cancer. You're in deep trouble up there with your health system, but otherwise...
It's a mess.
Yeah.
It's a mess. Like, I know people who are doctors, as soon as they finished their internship, they went to the States.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, you're going to make more money, Jeff. Thank you so much for calling, man. I really appreciate it. I don't think you celebrate Thanksgiving there, but you know what? If you get the weekend off, have a good time. They don't celebrate that there, right? Thanksgiving, why would they?
They do.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, then enjoy it.
The Pilgrims went to Canada as well, I believe.
I believe.
The French Pilgrims.
Don't worry about the tariffs, guys. That's what I'm telling you. Don't worry about them increasing prices. This is a strategy. Number one, look at the way they're already reacting. The UK, Canada, Mexico, all of them started off with, well, we're not going to stand for that. And now they're saying, but we'd love to talk to Trump about it. Let's see what we can work out, because they know they're on the losing end. We need to rebuild our manufacturing. We need to make sure we're buying Georgia Pacific Company. We need to make sure we're buying Weyerhaeuser. We need to make sure we're buying Sierra Pacific and Idaho Forest Group. Not always Canfor, but at least Canfor, they make great products, but they can make it here too, because they have tons of places, including producing facilities here in North America and here in the United States of America. All right, when we get back, we got some Peach State politics coming up. We got to know what's going on in the state. I'm going to tell you why Democrats are freaking out and why Brian Kemp should be worried about losing to John Ossoff. That's coming up on the Morning Extra right here on Extra 106.3, extra1063.com, and everywhere on the Extra 106.3 app.
Attention Warriors, are you a veteran ready to navigate to success after service? Tune in to the Warrior Alliance Network. Join us as we spotlight inspiring stories, provide essential resources, and connect you with a community dedicated to empowering veterans. From career advice to health and wellness tips, the Warrior Alliance Network is your go-to hub for post-service success. Tune in Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. on Extra 106.3. Join us on the mission, the Warrior Alliance Network, where warriors thrive together. Visit us at thewarrioralliance.org for more information.
Good morning, it's Lowe's. Let's talk about Howard Brothers and Steel Power Equipment. You know the name. You've seen it for years. S-T-I-H-L. That is steel. Well, you know this winter's moving in. You've seen that all the leaves are starting to drop off the trees. You're dealing with some of that stuff in the yard. Well, there's no better tool to handle some of those yard projects than a steel chainsaw. Yes, you at some point are going to have to do some trimming. That is what you're able to use. Maybe you're prepping for firewood season. Got our neighbors. They always do a fire pit. They went ahead and got after after it with their Steel chainsaw. They got themselves a bunch of firewood all taken care of. If you're tackling outdoor projects, Steel chainsaws are ready to get the job done for you. And there's no better place when you want to find some experts on what you're purchasing than going over to Howard Brothers, your local Howard Brothers, where a lot of the people in there have been working there for years. They have expertise in all the equipment and the maintenance of the equipment. I'm telling you, that is one of the biggest factors, maintenance of your equipment. Make sure it lasts. You know, you don't want to just get 1 or 2 seasons out of a piece of equipment. You want to get a lot of seasons out of equipment. Howard Brothers has the perfect Steel equipment to get you through the upcoming winter months. Their helpful team will get you geared up and ready with that chainsaw trusted by the pros, so you can be better ready for whatever winter throws your way. Howard Brothers and Steel chainsaws.
Get ready for Real Talk on the Janelle King Show, where we tackle kitchen table topics that are banned from family gatherings, but crucial for a strong republic. Tune in every Saturday at 3 p.m. and every Sunday for an encore episode at 9 a.m. And if you can catch us live, great. But if not, no worries. New podcasts drop every Tuesday on the Podcast Park right here on Extra 106.3 or wherever you get your podcast. Join us for insightful conversations that matter.
Military veterans are eager to transfer their skills and experiences to civilian life, but lack trusted connections to expedite their path to success. The civilian world can be confusing, and veterans do not need to journey through it alone. When you reach out to the Warrior Alliance, we will guide you to the best-in-class resources that can lead you toward renewed purpose after serving our nation. Find out why thousands of warriors have found success after service after engaging with the Warrior Alliance. For assistance, go to thewarrioralliance.org or call 404-210-1776.
What's up, Atlanta? It's Ben Burnett, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show. Each and every weekend, right here on Extra 106.3, we unpack all the week's events. We talk about all the issues with a local Atlanta-based flavor. You can catch me each and every weekend, Saturdays at 2 and Sundays at noon. If you ever miss an episode, you can go to the Podcast Park or wherever you download all of your content, and I'll be right there. Thanks for listening to the Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Butler Snow.
Rhino here for my elves at True Prep. Black Friday is here, and it's your chance to snag deals at one of the most unique stores in Atlanta, True Prep. Find the perfect gift that shows care and thought. Not just another tie or gift card from a big box store. The savings are huge, but they won't last long. For details, visit us on Cobb Parkway in Marietta or online at trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow at True Prep.
As the year comes to a close, now is the perfect time to evaluate your estate plan to protect your hard-earned assets from the high tax rates. Nelson Elder Care Law is here to help you keep your assets secure for future generations. As a family-owned and family-focused business, our mission is to exceed your expectations, offering absolute assurance and peace of mind. With our expertise in customized estate planning, Medicaid planning, probate administration, guardianship, and conservatorship, we protect what matters most to you. Schedule a free legacy planning meeting today to discover how we can help families just like yours. Don't let the government decide how to spend your money. Contact us at 678-250-9355, 678-250-9355. Or visit NelsonElderCareLaw.com. Nelson Elder Care Law, your partner in asset protection.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines. Presented by RBM of Atlanta, your Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your top stories in the state of Georgia for today, Wednesday, November 27th. 167 days, more than 170 witnesses, and after a full calendar year, jurors finally sat for deliberation in the YSL gang and racketeering trial. The jury deliberated for nearly 3 hours yesterday, trying to decide the fate of the last 2 defendants, Shannon Stillwell and DeMonte Kendrick. 4 other defendants have already taken plea deals after pleading guilty to some charges for lesser sentences, including rapper Young Thug. The jury is set to continue deliberations this morning. If they do not return with a verdict, Judge Whitaker will dismiss them for the holiday with plans to reconvene on Monday. The body of a 31-year-old TikTok creator, Giari Schneider, was found inside a car he had borrowed from a friend. Schneider disappeared after a night out at a local club on on November 15th and never returned. The wooded area where he was found was near a content house Schneider used to collaborate and create ideas for his social media platforms. His family fears that the 31-year-old could have been a victim of foul play. Clayton County police are continuing to investigate Schneider's death. And in sports, the Georgia Bulldogs have jumped back to number 7 in the nation in the college football playoff rankings. The Bulldogs need a convincing win against rival Georgia Tech this weekend to maintain the ranking. They must also win the SEC championship game on December 7th against the winner of the Texas and Texas A&M matchup. With your headlines, Scott Rhino, Extra 106.3. Tequila.
This is lowrider, but close enough.
Oh, they all sound the same to me. It is lowrider. You know, as soon as I said tequila, I kind of realized in the back of my head, hey, dummy, I think you're wrong. Thank you for making sure I knew I was wrong. That's right, lowrider. The Morning Extra. Tug, Rhino, and Los. We've been talking a lot about taxes, talking a lot about tariffs and how they get to us. Coming up, I'm going to tell you about why Brian Kemp screwed us with our taxes, but I want to talk to Billy first. Billy, thanks for calling the Morning Extra. Have a great day tomorrow. I want you to have a really happy Thanksgiving, and I hope you will. What's going on with you today?
Not much. I just wanted to weigh in on that fair tax. I don't always agree with Neil, but I've been listening to him for years. But that's the part is agreeing to disagree. But I agree with him about 95% of the time. But the fair tax, we need to hammer on that, because if people added up their taxes, just the things you bought every day, people only think about taxes as far as income tax or your tag tax. And it's a death of 1,000 cuts, and they don't notice it. But if you added all the taxes you pay for the whole year, you'd go crazy. Not to mention you get taxed on your Social Security. Yep. And it would bring power back to the people as far as more disposable income, and their buying power would go a lot farther as far as bringing companies to heel that they didn't agree with. They would feel the pinch a lot quicker if they stopped the flow of money.
Absolutely. Thank you, Billy. You're absolutely 100% right. And the Fair Tax book, if you haven't gotten it, go find it. Neil Bortz wrote a wonderful book, and the book makes common sense, or it makes sense. And it is common sense in that regard. And Billy's 100% right, because people don't realize that we're being double taxed on, oh God, how many items that we get double taxed on. Pay for your house, and then you get taxed on that for the rest of your life. Shouldn't be that way. You get taxed on everything you buy, and the idea of a fair tax is that everybody pays it, even illegals at that point, because it's a consumption tax. But the most important part is how it lowers the price of goods. Because the Democrats will throw out there, it just adds 20% to everybody. Okay, sure. No, it doesn't. Because what ends up happening is corporations don't pay taxes already. And what the corporations do is they send products. So anytime you're building, let's use a company like SK Battery, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. They make the batteries, but they make those batteries out of how many different components from how many different places. They need acid. They get acid from another corporation. Well, what if that corporation didn't have to charge tax to SK Battery? They save money there. What if the people who make the diodes that create those batteries that they need to put in there, what about them and those products? They don't have to pay tax on that. It lowers the price of that battery as well. Then the battery goes to the car, but there's no tax on the battery anymore, which costs a lot more than it did just to buy the diodes or buy the acid or buy the plastic to make that battery. All that cost has come down, so has the battery cost, and then that goes over to the car company that didn't have to pay the taxes on those batteries as well. This very simple way of looking at it, okay? But in reality, when you start thinking about products and how they're made and how many companies are involved in it, I do it a lot in sports when people are like, well, athletes get paid way too much. And I'm like, let's talk about how their jersey's made. Let's talk about the dye that's bought to make that jersey. Let's talk about the threads that are made. Let's talk about the player's name on the back. Let's talk about the reflective, all the things that go into it. Look at your shoelace, your eyelet, all the things that make a shoe. There are all probably 20 to 100 companies and corporations that pay taxes on those products to make those products, to send them and charge that down the line, which then gets charged to the customer. So the fair tax would be a great thing for this country. Even SK Battery might be one of those that benefits from that and wouldn't have to lay off employees after getting all this money to come here. Now, SK Battery is one of those companies that Brian Kemp said, hey, this is great. Great. Bringing all this great EV. We're the EV capital of the world. SK Battery lost $31 million because, EV's better for the environment, except for the fact that their batteries and their illegal dumping of their batteries with all the acid and everything else destroyed the earth. And not only did that started a huge fire that ended up destroying a recycling center, which is supposed to help the earth. You heard that correct, by the way. $31 million lawsuit, so they lost that money, and now they had to lay off most of their employees. The Bluebird bus commercial. Oh, boy, do you remember that? Raphael Warnock. I'm Raphael Warnock, and there it is. These buses, they're going to save the world. They're electric. They laid off their entire crew on their EV buses. This is a failed technology that we've gone all in on. And we've been sold down the river by the Democrats on all these BS, EV, and how much better they are for the environment. Every single thing that they're using is made of oil and plastic in order to tell you that we're getting better for the environment. And then Brian Kemp says, hey, I want to be the EV capital of the world, so we're bringing Rivian in here. They make great cars. They're EV, mostly made from plastic, which is made from oil. And they are going to change the way that we do business here in the state of Georgia. It's going to be great. Let's give them $1 trillion. Let's give them billions of dollars. We gave them a tax incentive to go ahead and build this beautiful plant here. And Brian Kemp told us, hey, listen to me. None of you are going to pay a thing. Not one of you will pay a thing unless if they fail. So don't worry about them failing. Now, if they succeed, yeah, you're going to pay. I don't want to pay. But the reality is this. We were told that they were going to create 7,500 jobs. In fact, they were going to build a $5 billion plant to create those 7,500 jobs by the end of 2030. Now, we're going to start production on these brand new EVs. We're going to get it done. It's going to be great. And they didn't. So Kemp, who already gave $1.5 billion in a public incentive package in order to bring this business here, which the residents of the area in Morgan County don't want. When you drive through there, you're going to see a few things. Number one, big "We oppose Rivian" signs. The other thing you're going to see is an empty lot. A lot that taxpayers paid to have cleared. A lot that needed better access from the highway. So infrastructure, your taxpayer dollars, went to creating the infrastructure to create roads, now named, for this plant, a $5 billion plant that we're on the hook for. Now, I think it was the AJC, and don't quote me on this. I don't know the exact number, but it was about $197,000 per taxpayer over the life of this idea. That's how much it's going to cost us. So going back to what Billy said, when you start realizing how much you're paying in taxes, maybe you'll take another look. There you go. Well, everything started falling apart. We built all this. We put your taxpayer money into building this land for them, for putting up with the court cases and everything that we had to do. Because, again, you're only told a little bit, but when you actually start digging deep into how much you've paid to get these people here for them to fail. So what happens? And I'm going to lead into why exactly Brian Kemp will lose to John Ossoff if this happens. The Biden administration decides we're going to give a $6 billion loan based in that infrastructure act that we made that we haven't actually done anything with because we haven't even built. Oh, I'm sorry. We built 7 EV charging stations with your billions of dollars. They're going to give you a $6 billion loan that you're going to pay back. Oh, no, you don't have to pay it back. It's already paid. We already took the money from the taxpayers. We got to stop picking winners and losers. It's not our job as elected leaders to use our money for your little pet projects anymore. You protect our borders first. The infrastructure that you should build should make our lives easier, not for companies and corporations. You're wasting our money, and it's got to stop. I know you saw this big opportunity. Oh, we're going all EV by 2030. No, we're not. And John Ossoff's the one. He's going to play this game now up to 2026 as we launch into the campaign season in the next 2 years. Brian Kemp cost taxpayers this much money in the government. I had to go to Biden before Trump took office to get the money to complete this project to create jobs for hardworking Georgians when Brian Kemp failed. That's what he's going to say. And is he wrong? You'll be the decider in that when you vote. Because Democrats are scrambling, and we're just giving them a win for no reason. Democrats can't even figure out who's supposed to run the Georgia Democrats, the party chair. Nikema Williams is on the out. John Ossoff also behind that because he wants to beat Brian Kemp or whoever runs up against him. So he's trying to make sure that, hey, we've got to get this message right, that we're here for hardworking Americans. And the only reason we could get hardworking Georgians and 7,500 jobs in Morgan County was I had to fix Governor Kemp's mess. Because that's what's coming, people. We got to stop handing them victories. By the way, Nikema Williams is trying to find a way to make this a full-time paid job to be party chair because she just doesn't have time to win elections for the Democrats. That's fine. Yeah, keep wasting your money. We saw what you could do with $1 billion trying to win the presidency. A complete fail. All right, we're going to wrap the show up next. We're going to have a fun little entertainment section. I don't even know what we're going to do yet. We're going to have a little fun.
We got Bella back there.
What'd she offer us?
Great point.
Okay. She better have a good story. She actually sent me something I'm going to talk to her about. It's the freakiest thing I've ever seen. That's coming up on the Morning Extra.
Following this historic election, the news from the left is louder than ever.
Toxic personalities don't have political affiliations.
Which means you need voices you can trust to make sense of it all. Extra 106.3 is dedicated to earning that trust every day with trusted local and national voices. Atlanta radio legends like Neil Bortz and The Kimmer and the international resources of Fox News. This is your community and your voice. The conservative voice of Atlanta. Extra 106.3 FM.
Central Heating and Air Conditioning wants you to know the start of the new season is the perfect time to ensure your home's comfort for the fall and winter. Don't wait like most people do to have your HVAC system serviced. Your home should have maintenance twice a year. Maintenance helps keep your furnace running at peak efficiency and extends the life of your equipment. Turn to the experts for your system's maintenance at 770-GET-HEAT or centralheat.com. Central Heating and Air Conditioning can fix what ails your house and possibly your family with home ventilation and air quality products. Central has packages designed around health using variable speed, fresh air ventilation, air cleaners, air purifiers, dehumidifiers, and more. Carrier products, carrier warranty, and carrier peace of mind. Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert since 1947 and one of the few second-generation locally owned HVAC companies in Atlanta. Call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Atlanta Braves single game tickets for the 2025 season are now on sale. Get your tickets for some exciting matchups next season, like when the Phillies come to Truist Park during the opening homestand in April, followed by the Dodgers and Padres in May, the New York Yankees in July, and many more. Plus, select ticket packages are also available. So give the gift of Braves baseball this holiday season and surprise your loved ones with Braves tickets. Visit Braves.com/tickets today. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
Are you the type of consumer that likes to do your research before you choose a company? Well, then you need to join Dan Watkins, Chris Lolamy, and myself, Jim Niarchos, every Saturday morning at 9 for the All Four Seasons Home Show. We only vet local businesses with a proven history of integrity, competence, and solid customer service. The All Four Seasons Home Show helps you make a good consumer decision, save money, and not get ripped off. You can also follow our podcasts on Apple, Google, and Spotify. The All Four Seasons Home Show, Saturday mornings at 9, right here on Extra 106.3.
C Logistics Customer Care Manager, key accounts positions offered by Kuhn & Nagel Incorporated in East Point, Georgia. Cultivate enduring freight forwarding customer relationships and deeply understand their needs and goals. Create customized customer success plans, setting clear objectives and reviewing progress regularly. Most be dangerous goods DG certified. Must be willing to travel 10% domestically. Please apply via email at mary.boruch-kuehne-nagel.com.
Tune into your new favorite show that's redefining the A to Z's of marketing, the Marketing Mad Men. We'll take you behind the scenes of successful campaigns and reveal the strategies that win. We're not just talking about marketing, we're making it happen. From viral content creation to leveraging AI for customer engagement, our experts bring you to the cutting edge of industry. This is your playbook for market dominance. Tune in and transform your approach with actionable tips that could skyrocket your ROI. The Marketing Mad Men every Saturday at 4 p.m. right here on Extra 106.3.
The end of the year is closing in, and with it, another tax year comes to an end. As you prepare to file your taxes, consider the efficiency of your tax strategy. Have you maximized your IRA and Roth contributions? Do you have an RMD strategy in place? Are you making moves now to maximize your future tax-free income? Not only is the year-end fast approaching, but the 2017 tax cuts sunset at the end of 2025, placing many Americans in a higher tax bracket. Don't just report your taxes, plan for them. Contact Master Plan Retirement Consultants now to create a retirement plan specifically designed for you. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation where we can illustrate your retirement outlook and create a plan together for your future. Master Plan Retirement Consultants. Plan well and prosper.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
The Morning Extra from 6 to 10. Glenn Beck until noon. Clay and Buck from noon to 3. And The Kimmer Show on your ride home from 3 to 6. Plus Jesse Kelly from 6 to 9. And Jimmy Vela from 9 to midnight. The voices you need all day with a conservative voice of Atlanta. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Welcome back to the Morning Extra. Tug, Rhino, and Los. No Tug and Los. It's the Rhino Show. Why is that funny?
You're just so funny.
Oh, I know. It's true. It's true. You can hear Bella, which means beautiful in Italian, by the way.
It does.
Bella.
Yeah.
Bella.
I mean, I think you have a lot to live up to if someone names you Bella. You wore a Band-Aid yesterday. You kind of failed there. You look great today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We're going to do some entertainment. We're just going to have fun. It's time to wrap it up. It's time to go and celebrate times with your family, and that's the important part. So, for the first time in my life, Bella, I did a TikTok challenge.
You did?
I did.
We did.
We did. We
You
did it
both
this morning.
did?
Yes, this morning, we did a TikTok challenge. I don't know if you've heard about this one. I saw a guy from Kentucky, so as soon as I see like a good redneck dude, I'm like, all right, I'm going to listen to him. He obviously knows what's going on. And he said, I heard about freezing popcorn. And I was like, okay, have you heard about this?
Like dry freeze popcorn?
No, just freezing it in the freezer. Cook it fresh and then freeze it right away.
No.
And don't eat it. Well, we did it today. So apparently, when you freeze popcorn, it tastes better. The salty, you could taste the salt better. It's got more of a crunch to it.
Okay.
And he was right.
Is it supposed to like mimic store-bought
Yeah, it kind
popcorn?
of does.
Kind
You know
of
what?
like,
you think?
Yeah, it kind of
you
did.
know what I mean? Like you cook it.
That
and
crunchiness?
Then, yeah.
It kind of did.
It was good.
I don't know. I like
know
my
what I
butter.
mean?
I like my popcorn kind of like drenched in butter.
Yeah.
It's really
See,
just
and
a
I don't.
vehicle to get
I don't like the
butter into my veins.
I don't like the butter. I don't like the butter
I
at
like
all.
the butter and popcorn.
Yeah, I don't care about the crunchiness.
Okay, now that worked out pretty well.
Okay.
Now I got a question for you. So you send me this text, and it's a TikTok, right?
Yes.
That was on TikTok.
Do you have TikTok?
No, I'm not signing up to a Chinese propaganda place. So
Did it
until
take you
America
to like a
buys it.
Safari link for you to watch it at
Yeah,
least?
yeah.
Okay.
So I get yours first, where you do a reaction video. Is that what that's called?
Yeah.
And I didn't know at first. I'm like, oh, look, this must be like her sister or something.
My sister?
Well, she had goofy glasses like you. So I just assumed maybe this is your sister.
I don't have a sister.
Wait, you sent him one of your own TikToks?
I sent him a reaction video of someone else's video.
So let me tell you about this video. So I'm thinking your sister's got this brand new baby girl and she's about to dress her up. And you're like, what? And I'm like, what does she mean, what? Because I didn't realize that wasn't a real baby.
No, it wasn't. That was the whole point of the video.
This thing is the creepiest. Erin and I, because Erin's like, oh, look at her gorgeous hair. I'm like, it's not real. She goes, no, it is.
It's like a baby doll?
So, okay. So the video on TikTok, you can react to other people's videos. It's called stitching.
Yeah.
So I stitched someone's video of them holding, it's a silicone baby, but its head is so realistic and it moves.
It's like a little robot.
It looked like a baby.
It looked like a baby. And these people sell them on TikTok.
They were moving her lips,
Yeah,
like with her face.
Like,
and I was like
it's a real baby. People sell these babies on TikTok, have them in some type of nursery-looking room,
Yeah.
sell them online, and have baby clothes on hangers, and be like, your baby is 7 pounds, and here are these clothes, like from Carter's, Pottery Barn. They're all in little hangers, and they dress them and then ship them, but it like moves like a baby.
all right, Bella,
Is
I
it
need
pee
you.
and poo, too?
I don't know.
So the weird part was, so the girl puts this thing together, then she walks you through, hey, it's kind of like the Cabbage Patch Factory where they go, all right, we're going to send you this clothing.
But my baby dolls didn't look like that.
No, these things are creepy. They look like at any time this baby's going to get up and murder me or one of my dogs.
It's so realistic looking too.
It is. What I'm going to ask you to do, Bella, as our social media maven, is put that up on our Extra. Will you be able to find a way to put that video up of the girl? I mean, it's a long video. You don't have to watch the whole thing. But when you see this, put your reaction video up. People need to know it's Bella.
Okay.
All right, find that. Put that up. Go to our Extra websites and at Extra 1063 on Twitter. You'll see it there, probably on Instagram and all those as well. We got to get better about that as well. What else is going on in the world right now? What are the big trends going on TikTok and what's happening in the world? Tell us.
Well, especially in TikTok, it's moving from Thanksgiving to Christmas. So, no matter what your demographic is on TikTok and the algorithm, like mine is a lot of Atlanta Christmas events going on now.
Okay.
Or like New York City Christmas.
So is that what this is about? Because number one trend right now on TikTok was Thanksgiving. So when you see that trend, what does that mean? Are we just having people going, look, I made this turkey?
No, a lot of people will resort to Gossip Girl or TV shows and use sounds that are related to like Thanksgiving theme. And then after Thanksgiving hits, you see people do Christmas hauls. A lot of people, especially for me, I just grew up doing this. They're called angel trees. So angel trees are a really big thing on TikTok where I was always raised. My mom was like, if you want Santa.
Your mom was like, or your mom said that?
My mom always said.
See what I told you? I'm training her.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
My mom said, when we were little, if you want Santa to come, we need to give back. So I would always go to a church, pick a name off a tree, and buy Christmas gifts for the children, and then bring it back to the church to give back. So that is a big trend on TikTok, is doing angel trees, and people will do hauls. I did one with my college friend last year, which actually went pretty viral. We went to Walmart, and we went through her list. Some kids write an iPad. Obviously, I was in college. I can't afford to buy you an iPad. So she wanted roller skates. I got her roller skates, but we split the list in half.
So you were nice.
Yeah.
You bought things.
I feel like
boring me
TikTok
with
right
your
now-
story.
Wonderful.
You're boring me with your story now.
I feel like
It's like too nice. We want the dirt.
I want to know about,
I
new-
like
The
on
other-
TikTok. I'm seeing a bunch of like sketches about what could happen at Thanksgiving.
Okay,
being with people on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Sketches.
Are people worried? Like, so here's where we're at in this world right now, that people don't want to go have Thanksgiving with Trump supporters or Kamala Harris supporters.
I've
Is
seen
that
like
something
memes.
that's going on?
I've seen memes, but it hasn't been really all over my For You page. The only thing that's really on my For You page now is people being like, oh, Donald Trump was going to lower your groceries, and they're not, and he's not going to do that anymore, and they're trying to like rebut.
Okay, so they're doing the tariff thing is the big thing because
with the groceries. That's the only thing that's
they're
really
uneducated.
Yep.
Okay, so the reality of what's going on right now on TikTok is it anti-Trump, or because we talked about the Baron Trump and how he's making way, or
not? I would say not as much right now. Only with the whole grocery thing being like, oh, if Trump was supposed to lower your groceries, if that's why you voted for him, well, guess what? And they'll do like a short video about that.
Okay.
It also totally depends on your algorithm.
Yeah.
Like if you keep liking political TikToks of
Which
one
I
side,
do.
then
you do.
Yeah.
You're
So
gonna
you
get
see
them.
a lot of those.
Sometimes I see it, but right now it's a weird stage right now with the holidays and stuff and the election being over. It's kind of mix of Baron Trump meme and the grocery. Trump's not lowering groceries.
Okay, so that's
mine's all about Wicked.
Yeah, this. But I did hear Wicked, like people getting really upset now that the movie's out. People are singing all the songs and going in there and making their own videos of them singing along with the movie.
In the movie theater?
Yeah.
But that's like a musical theater
No, it's not. No, not in a
do
theater.
that.
You do that at home.
But people, that attracts a certain crowd, and that certain crowd does it. I went to see The Greatest Showman and...
Showman.
The Showman.
Showman, right?
Showman.
The Greatest Showman.
Oh, Showman. Okay. And that crowd, the entire time, sung when I was watching the movie.
Really?
So I'm not.
Okay,
I'm not fazed by
I
it a little
actually
bit.
like that movie, The Greatest Showman, and I saw it twice, believe it or not, and I never thought about singing because why would I ever remember the songs
I didn't know
from that?
the songs.
It's like, well, Wicked has been a
watch this.
musical.
This is how weird this dude is. Sing one of the songs from The Greatest Showman.
When from The Greatest Showman?
Yeah. Not Wicked.
This is me. I am something.
Someone cut the mic.
And
Someone cut the mic.
Everybody loves me, especially myself, because I'm fat.
That's not real.
That's that one song. This is me.
Oh, God. Yes,
one that
This
won the
Is Me.
Oscar.
That's the big girl. That
I didn't
was
like
singing
that
it.
one.
No, not at all.
That movie.
I would never
sure
sing
don't
in a
like it
musical
now.
theater. I would never sing in a theater.
Well, we're going to end this disaster of the segment now.
I thought this was the best one today.
That's because you got to talk.
Good point.
Yeah.
And sing.
Joe, as always, thank you so much. You're the greatest. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Bella, thank you. You're not the greatest, but you're pretty damn cool. And I appreciate you every single day.
Thanks.
I'm thankful for you. You're one of my Thanksgiving thankfuls.
Wow.
My-
Nacho.
My favorite turkey. Now get out of here. Tired of you now. Been nice enough. And all you, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll speak to you again on Monday.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra